Bitch made Brian. Bitch made Brian.
Yourself, feminine vibe. EVS called you beta, ain't no need to hide. Just stop it, man, don't drag this out. All this drama's only making you doubt. You got a cool comic, yeah, I'll cop it soon. But your behavior won't stop me from dropping that tune. No fake reviews or petty tricks from me. Just do your thing, man, and let it be. This looks dope, can't you see?
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks here, guys.
T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
Yeah, we're back. Back in black. Ironically, did not plan that. But I'm all in black today. I am Black Angus. In case it's the first time you see me, and I like to detract, as well as my friend here, the rookie, the critic.
I'm the white rookie critic. Yes. Rookie critic white.
I am rookie the white.
Yes.
Oh man, it's good to be back. I've been in just a weird rut. Didn't feel like streaming. And then when I did feel like streaming earlier this week, my router goes out for no reason. And Spectrum was like, oh yeah, those are outdated. And it's like, but it was working just fine. What the hell?
Only build things to last about 2 years at minimum, maybe 5 if you're pushing it.
Yeah.
Days.
So when I did think about coming back, New Year's or right before, I couldn't. So sorry for that. But I'm energized. I'm energized. I'm excited because Eric is trying to fold with grace with his YouTube career, it seems. And yet, like the next day, he posts a new video, probably from a dumb stream or something, or pre-recorded, but whatever. I know he did the Rippaveal. I remember waking up and then later that day I called Ricky. I'm like, yeah, I saw Trash Cast like had Eric with a cow. I'm like, is it about me? Did he find something and it's triggered about me or something? Because I'm the cow. I'm like, what is this? I totally did not understand Rippaveal. And so I started watching the EVS stream covering it, but I literally made it 30 seconds in. I have no idea what he's unveiled. You'll see me react to it fresh. I don't know how much Rookie's seen of it.
I've seen pretty much all the last couple Trash Casts.
Okay.
Like 20 hours worth of Trash Casts.
The trick, though, Rookie, to shorten that time is to play it at a minute and a half or a minute and a quarter.
True.
But yeah, I mean, laughing at Eric.
See, I'm trying to make it last longer, so I actually should play it at half speed. So it's a lot slower.
Let me say hi to the chat. We got Katie. If you want the link, I meant to send it to you. Hold on. Let me get on X.
I think that Eric's plan is to, do the moving differently phase 2.
Moving differently again. The hell? I guess Tony shared something on his stream. Huh.
Cool.
I don't know if it's a new thing that Relly still has to attend for his fucking, I don't know. I don't know what he's looking at. But yeah, I guess he's back for the new year too. Yeah, Katie, here we go. Let me send you a link if you wish to join.
Stony Mick.
Yeah, let me say hi to you good people. You people. We got Tevin the Lore Seeker. He's laughing probably at the thumbnail and or title. Stony McEnergy says this says a lot about society. You like the thumbnail, Rookie? Have you seen it?
Yeah, a couple of a couple of gentlemen in little suits. Yeah.
What's funny? When I want a Bing image creator to do this, they've had a lot of problems with Black or African American. So like you can't even say African American crying. You can't have like any negative emotion with a Black character in your image. So it's censored. You gotta be creative.
I describe crying as an expressive emotion. Like, it doesn't have to be negative.
Yeah, but they won't. But it obviously is viewed as negative, harmful, whatever.
It was tears of joy, though.
So it's been a real bitch trying to make stuff on Bing. And then I tried to today with the same prompt where it's like Black man in a tuxedo and top hat pulling back a curtain, revealing a hairy Black man crying with a sign.
Like a Wizard of Oz reference.
All of them are white. They're white or brown at best. None of them are Black guys. It's hilarious. And so Grok thus far is adequate. Not as fun, not as good of art as like Bing for like cartoon style, but it finally did the job when I tweaked it enough.
It'd be safe for Looney Tunes.
You like the hat, yeah. Yeah, you like that loss 41-7, Cowboys Eagles finishing out the NFC East. That was great. I've not really watched football this year. I just catch highlights, catch up on the score. I'm like, all right, Eagles doing good, but I've not really watched anything. But she says, so I'm a MILF now, huh? You've always been. That's the appeal. That's part of the appeal of watching Katie streams. You got the nice hair, got the Southern charm. It's endearing, but you don't really play with that. You're one of the guys when you stream. That's the appeal. Mandy's cool because she used her tits and she doesn't like play coy about it. But you don't use your sex appeal. There's still the natural fact of it. So yeah, MILF supremacy. Love a good MILF. I returned to you now at the turn of the tide as Gandalf White.
Yes. I was trying to think of the quote that he has. I was like, I don't remember what he says.
Grogu saying hail. Well, thank you. Welcome.
Stupid.
And Katie, $5. 5 smackaroonies to start. Says the MILF welcomes you back, Sir Black Angus. Hello. Did a long night of detracting on New Year's Eve. It's a lot of work to detract now.
Oh, I know, right? All the long streams everybody's doing these days. Yeah.
Heard you're looking for detractors. Hey, is that One Gun? Hello. I've been enjoying what I've caught. You on streams, I think with Ruby. But for Katie, let me find a clip. I need to get new clips, but here's a good clip for you.
Thanks a lot, Jews.
I'm a big Wisecrack fan, and Garrick's Wormuloid, his reviews of movies, that's from I think The Godfather randomly. But I love it. And now with Palestine, it's great to have that clip.
Good.
But let me see. Where's a good one? Here we go. Here's a good clip for $5.
Oh, my lucky stars, a Negro.
One of my favorite lines ever.
Thank you for the first contribution. I appreciate it. Not necessary. And yeah, I did. Yeah, I sent you the link if you wish to come, but I get you're detracting. Let me see what's going on here. Well, thank you. People fun. Appreciate y'all coming here. And yeah, consider becoming a member or super chatting. Helps fund the first of all, StreamYard is like doubled in price. So September Miracle, you're gonna have to shell out like $400 to maintain our StreamYard. So that is the chief priority. And then we'll progress from there, updating equipment, whatever. So appreciate your contribution, if at all. But we thank you mostly for being here. Be sure to share it out, smash the follow or subscribe button, and so on. So Eric, first off, we got to look at his crash out, his cope. I've been talking about for a while, like, oh man, his subs are going down. I was saying it like a year ago. And Evis finally pointed out, like, he hit under 500K. The unsubbing continues. Beautiful.
And when he shared that, I was like, he's almost at 500K. It's like, oh no, it's going downward. Oh.
I mean, if you put the chart backwards, it's successful, I guess.
Yeah, it's like nearly 500,000 subscribers.
It's like his books, the return on his books. You know, if you turn the chart backwards, he's like he's skyrocketing.
Yeah, multi-million.
But let me see. Old Eric Juneteenth. Let me see. Here it is. Let me get through this fucking ad. Oh my god, it's a fucking crying baby. It was funny too that this came out right after Sturgis was like, "You're the guy." He's always trying to throw. You're the numbskull that thinks God sent you on a mission. And then, literally in this video, Eric says some crap about like God chose me to create. And I don't think God cares good or bad about people making comics or art or anything like.
God chose Riley to, take novelty scissors and tape some bunny money.
Yeah, I mean, depending on your interpretation of God and the order of things, you could literally just say, oh, well, like God wanted the Tesla to blow up in front of Trump's thing for blah, blah, blah,
9/11 actually was for the benefit of America or something like that.
Yeah, like
phrase things and
it's like, ways. Well, if the towers weren't hit,
it wasn't for Japan, then it wasn't for Pearl Harbor, then maybe Germany would rule the world.
You can get really macabre with that idea and be like, oh, it's like in Invention of Lying, where they're discovering this idea of God, and he's like, oh, God, does everything. It's like, oh, so God gave my mom cancer, and then they're like, oh, but he treated my mom's cancer, so he's kind of a dick, but he kind of makes up for it. Like, y'all should watch Invention of Lying if you haven't. Ricky Gervais.
We need to rewatch that one.
It is such a profound film. The idea is like it's really brilliant, but I think if you actually read into it and you're like stringently Christian and can't take a joke, you get butthurt at your religion getting laughed at, even though you laugh at like Muslims or whatever, then yeah, not the movie for you. Because it's very Christian coded in its critique, I guess. But I mean, it's going to happen when you're raised in a Christian based society. You're not going to think about Muslims, so I really hate that deflection. You would do that to Muslims. It's like, I don't live with Muslims. Like, but let's see. Eric coping. The perfect picture to kind of summarize Eric's crash out here is people will try to spin it like a Barry Sanders leaving too soon, just quitting before his knees gave out or something, leaving at his height. But it's like, no, you're already faltering. You're already a lol cow. This is like Brett Favre's last game where he got sacked and his body's just laying broken on the ground. And then we never saw him again for like a year. And it's like, yeah, he retired again. It's over. Like, just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I love the title. I had to do this.
It must be done.
I started my YouTube channel nearly 2 decades ago when I was just a teenager. I had a sizable following by early 2010s due to my music as both a writer and performer. I had another significant jump in the early to mid 2010s due to political and social commentary. By 2015, I was a full-time commentator. My band was also touring and charting on Billboard with our first album, and it was difficult to juggle all of this because during this time, I researched, recorded, and edited my videos. From about 2017 to 2021, I was commentating and YouTubing full-time. Music had taken a back seat, and though it was a very lucrative era for me, this was the time I was least creative.
I don't have anything to say yet. I don't know why.
It's just funny, like he's like making a music video, I guess, but he just like sits back and is just like thinking on his life for a second and passing, like. And then
I was thinking about that. I was like, creatively, like as for making the video, like why are you showing this footage here for this part? That's like all I'm thinking of so far.
Hello, Katie. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Do I sound okay, Black Angus?
Yeah, I mean, a little muffled, but.
Oh, okay.
We understand what you're saying, though, so we can hear you well enough in that sense.
All right. Well, let me know if it gets bad because I'm got my Bluetooth headphones. So just let me know if I start to sound like absolute shit.
Okay.
What's been going on exactly? Because like I'm very much behind in tracting, and
he's just goes back in now. So.
Well, let's see. Achromatic Chronicles Green is not doing so well. Unlike his first time he did the campaign. Still no word on Yellow Flash yet, but there is word that Neurotic will be using Rippaverse for his book.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Then him being saying goodbye to YouTube. Now what Tony showed tonight, it looks like the I think what it is the reason he's getting off YouTube is he knows this court case is coming up, and
so that's still going on. It's just those couple things were dropped.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. We're still gonna have.
So Eric has to show up. Eric has to show up on the stand, and several of his employees, like NDA Andrew, Brandon, Alex, all that. Yeah. So they will have to show up. I just shared it on Twitter. Chris Bacon, I think he mentioned he's going to be going down there. So, but there is no cameras in the courtroom as of right now, because if Eric is a public figure, then yes. If no, then no cameras. So, but I do know that Chris Bacon will be down there. So.
I want to see everybody in their little suits.
I cannot wait to get the transcript in especially anything that he says. Like, oh, you see, like, nonetheless, as it pertains to the contention.
I want to see Riley across the court from Eric July, both in like little suits and ties. Like,
no, it's like you hear, you like read all this, and it's like, wait, what was the question? It's like, please state your name. Like,
these are one of the moments where I wish I lived in Texas. Oh, I wish I lived in Texas.
You sound like Sandy Cheeks. Wish I was back in Texas.
Squirrel.
Where the Eric July court case is going on.
Oh
yeah.
God.
So that's gonna be interesting. But this whole thing, like, so he's proposing, Black Angus and Rook, that he will be putting out 12 books out, rather novel or comic, in 2025.
Novels?
Well, one of them's a novel. It was the Rippaveals. One of them is a novel.
Don't tell me where I'm going to react to the Rippaveals.
Okay.
Rippaveals sounds like a brand of meat he's trying to sell. Honestly,
I know.
Have you ever had those people come to your house? They're selling like $400 boxes of steaks. I'm like, oh, this is better.
What?
One time, and they never came back. So I don't know if it was me or the Dunkards that scared the shit out of them. Because Holmes said, you don't need to be coming up in here in the holler. Ain't nobody gonna buy your food. I suggest that you probably walk away.
What do you think of Grogu? Katie's cheeks.
Pretty good. Good one.
Red, thank you for being a member for 5 months.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Red.
Sorry for being absent this last month.
Well, we're glad you're back.
All right, let's continue this Eric
Yeah.
thing.
That's because I didn't have the time to really do it. I was streaming 5 to 7 times a week for hours on end, gaming, talking comics, or doing a political show. Still, with all of that previous success, the Rippaverse blows everything else out of the water. I believe that this is God really telling me that I was put on this earth to create.
Hey, no,
content.
Angus was put on this earth
I
to detract
was
for
sent by
to
God.
distract you, sir.
Eric, you were put on this earth to provide wool for people's clothes.
What is it Jesus told the Pharisees in the temple or whatever? He's like, your father is the father of lies or something like that. What is it Elf says? Like, you smell of beef and cheese.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Yeah.
Oh, but this gets better. You just wait, Black Ink. This gets better.
When you said that he's meant to provide like wool or something, I'm like, so he's a resource we have not yet mined for hair and stuff.
Well, I mean, the amount of hair that's on that fucking body, it might as well.
Yeah, I was seeing this and I'm like, is he adding more from his shoulder hair to his face?
No, it
I
grows
don't know,
upward,
but
it
he
moves
needs to
upward.
quit going. He needs to quit going to Great Clips because they ain't doing shit. Like, look at this, Black Angus. Look at the fucking beard. Look at this is awful. I just don't understand why you can't just groom yourself up a little bit, make yourself look nice. Like, what the fuck, man? Either shave the shit off or make it look nice. Oh my God,
Angus is a beard guy, so I actually don't know if he likes the beard or hates the beard.
I don't.
I
really
love beards,
care.
but I hate Eric's beard.
I don't normally care, but it's really noticeable. I don't know how much is the influence of laughing at shoulder hair jokes all the time with him. But yeah.
Do you think it's because we laugh at the shoulder hair that he will never shave his hair?
He's defying us.
If I was his hairdresser, I'd take my editors and go past the neckline in the back. I would just go down lower and lower, just try to get much of that.
Oops, well, might as well do the rest.
Yeah, might as well.
Oops, your pants came undone.
Fucking yeah, oh my God.
Because you're like, oh, I just keep going lower and lower. Like, oh,
Ew.
Lower,
so
lower,
God
lower.
damn it. God bless it. I can't win.
Eric's shoulder hair and Katie's cheeks.
Ew. Fuck off with that.
Give her some nightmares.
Yeah, that's nightmare fuel right there.
I'm gonna have to find that picture I made on Being of it's like supposed to be Eric's shoulder hairs, but it's like Venom. It's like trans flag.
Oh, I
Venom.
remember that one. That was good.
The idea was like the shoulder hair whispering in his ears, like, "Yes, Eric, make a good comic. That's what the people want."
Me with these blessings, and the Rippaverse is far bigger than just me, as it employs and contracts dozens in addition to the tens of thousands of fans that are again fans of the Rippaverse.
He always likes to mention numbers. I noticed with
I
everything.
take this seriously and put
he talks about. He always mentions how many things are or how many numbers of something is all the time. I don't always think about that whenever I talk about things. I just kind of say what they are. I don't usually go, this many numbers and these many people and this many things and those many things.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and I don't go, oh man, have you seen Avengers Infinity War? The $2 billion success?
The $1 billion success with that made millions. No, I'm just the movie.
Have you seen Gone with the Wind? That based on the sales, it sold like 1 billion tickets. Like, no,
I just wonder if this is a common thing other people really do. I don't feel like I hear it that often.
He's trying to do like a marketing thing. He's trying to like validate to maybe new viewers of, oh, in case you don't know about the Rippaverse, it sold 210,000 books thus far and counting. Like,
I was about to say, it sounds like what's a subversive ad called? Like secret
deceptive ad?
I don't know. Yeah, something that's like the point isn't to do the ad, but that's like a subtext in here, like, you know, this many numbers and these many people, this many items. I don't know, just observation.
I just really hate all the art of all of these F slurs. It's always got some smug side eye look at you, like
just have them smile. You know, it's the Brie Larson thing again in a way. Just like, you know, just an image of you being happy is sometimes better. I don't know.
Yeah, like that'd be more fun and inviting. Like they literally, there's a video or an ad with all of their fucking art from of this style, and it's all of them looking like this or Andrew's F slur fucking face, looking smugly, and it says "Join us," and it's like, no.
So are you gonna beat me up? Like, I don't want to.
Well, it looks like, yeah, I guess I'll sell you a book. Like you're the inconvenience when they're asking for money.
Or my best effort, or I can treat it as a hobby and stick to YouTube. It was an easy decision for me to pick the former, but I was aware of the consequences. It was the best thing to do for the business, but the worst thing to do for the channel. I had to also adjust to become a better professional, and it was all worth it. Now, I think we have a decent setup here. I have my weekly show with Az, Ripping the Silverback, where we can talk about non-Rippaverse related things. That's my outlet. I spend a portion of about 1 day a week doing videos that my team edits and uploads for my channels. And of course, I appear on various podcasts and shows from time to time. But most of my time is spent.
I love how I remember hearing EBS time was. I noticed this when I seen this. I'm like, he's getting chunky. For one, it's always talking about fats. Like, I don't know, man. You're looking kind of thick there, buddy.
Why do they have a wide angle shot for this? If you're recording him on stage, I don't know why there's another camera here. Is there another camera?
Look at the warehouse.
Recording his legs.
I told Ethan on New Year's, I said, I feel like I shouldn't be looking at his thighs.
Probably.
Like
I mean,
dark,
I'm just
you don't like dark meat.
Well, it's just funny. It's because like I like to do film stuff, and it's like I don't know, like I guess I see this in other things, but why do they do? Look, we're recording them recording something. It's like what's the point of that? Just look at them working. They're recording. I don't know. It's like you have the one camera. You don't need to do another one.
He looks like
is it me? Like for you guys, you tell me. Like maybe I'm an old soul, but isn't men's shorts supposed to at least go to your kneecaps?
Unless you're like playing basketball,
classically,
pretty much.
Yeah, it's like
or
I was part of the era. I remember going to school and they started making this like requirement, like your knees couldn't be like more than like your hand width away from your knee.
You have to have your hands down and your shorts have to go to your fingertips, essentially on your thighs.
It's kind of a weird requirement.
It was mostly referring to girls in their skirts, though. Honestly,
well, it just feels like as time goes on, the shorts get shorter and shorter and shorter.
I mean, I guess
I'm like, I'm not supposed to be seeing your thighs, boy.
I assume it's because he's very athletic, so he likes to wear tank tops and shorts. That's what I'm guessing.
I think we need a male Rippaverse Speedo. We need the Michael Copper Speedo. That's what we need.
The Rippaverse onesie.
Oh God. Let's not encourage that onesie or another onesie for like babies. We don't need these Rippatards breeding. Okay, let's not do that.
That's this is for you, Case. Superior Nav says there's nothing wrong with Daisy Dukes, boys.
No, man.
Oh yeah, I always feel uncomfortable watching like old NBA clips with like Larry Bird fucking shorts hugging his balls.
God,
it's like, what? Who thought this was a good idea?
I think
they're kind of bringing that back a little bit, though, man.
I think it was a performance thing back then, like that they thought that shorter shorts helped them run better, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, sometimes your shorts
like with track, like or sorry, not just any racing thing. They really don't have very long shorts. They're always very short. So
that's why I was saying the Speedo thing, because some girls actually do Olympics in Speedos.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to derail of a chick clothing comment, but I'm like, Eric, your thighs are hairy
Katie,
too, honey. I just
we are
don't
the
want to
kings
see
of
it.
derailing. We love to derail. So
oh my God, look at his legs.
Thighs. They're so thick and hairy.
Looks like one of those rap guys' girlfriends.
Yeah. It's like he likes to braid it.
Yeah, I agree. I've always had an aversion, even as a kid, to short shorts. Then you get older and fatter, and it's like, oh, like if I don't have
Who,
clothes in between
who,
my thighs, are gonna rub raw. Like, what is this?
who wears short shorts? Eric wears short shorts.
I fucking hate the hipster shit. Anyway, continuing.
Doing something pertaining to the Rippaverse. There's always something to do, and you simply cannot be both a full-time streamer and a productive comic book publisher. Make no mistake, I'm totally aware of the ankle-biting YouTubers that are hell-bent on trying to destroy me and the company. There are countless amount of lies and just fake narratives that are out there.
It's like, if you're trying to be negative, why do you show cute little
like,
puppy dogs?
I'm just like, should he be showing pit bulls? Like,
I think he perceived, or his team perceived this to be like, hey, we'll like effeminate or infantilize the enemy. Like, oh, you're so
to me, it
cute.
comes
It's
off
like,
as they're harmless.
and it's like, well, I mean, Riley's an ankle biter. And so now you're just like, oh, he's a cute ankle biter. Aw. Like, and then you're like, police help. You look even more like a bitch if this is how you perceive us ankle biters. And why did you call the cops, you pussy?
Right.
You gotta think of, like, Eric thinks him and his posse think they're like smart or clever, you know, and people are gonna coom like, oh yeah, this is a dumb puppy.
And they're great for engagement in their super chats. Some were once creators that have now crossed into full-time YouTubing. They found it far easier and lucrative to gossip like schoolgirls and attempt to defame me instead of creating original content. But responding to it and going back to YouTubing is a colossal waste of my time, because that doesn't help the Rippaverse. So their attempts to drag me into being as unproductive as they are, participating in this internet blood sport, that's not something that's conducive to where we want to be. So let them
So
fight
I assume
their
that he's also
imaginary...
doing this because I think they keep on paying for Twitter advertisement also. There'll be, I've seen, like, just scrolling down, because I'm not following all their Twitter accounts, and I'll see like a Ripasend like thing that has ad next to it, and you know, or sometimes, so it's like, I guess they think that they'll get more customers by not being on YouTube. But it's funny because, like, I wouldn't have probably gone into or found interest in independent comics in any way, shape, or form if it wasn't for EVS talking about Star Wars and like making fun of it. Like, because back when he would do that in the day, it was like, you know, the TLJ sucks, blah, 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 and stuff. But here's this little thing I'm drawing, Cyberfrog. It's kind of cool. Okay, and then just they just stopped talking about that for a bit, and he'd bring it up on occasion, and then like started talking about it more. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool. And then suddenly, like, I thought I was in like a movie sphere of people, but it's honestly more comic people, like more passionately comic people compared to movie people. And a lot of people trying to create stuff, and it's like, okay, shoot, I like that. That comes from the YouTube end of like finding customers, I would think.
Well, Rook, it's kind of weird because I wish I had a chance to say this on the New Year's stream, but I think it's a bad decision of Eric doing this, because yeah, you're focusing on your business, but your YouTube is how you get interact with your customers. Your YouTube is what you use to promote the Rippaverse. Like, for instance, you know, think of Ethan and all these people. I mean, they keep their channels because they needed to promote, to create hype and launching campaigns. So my thing is okay, well, these books are going to be coming out. If you're done with YouTube, how are you going to launch your book? How are you going to get the fans? Because you ain't got the website ready for members. You don't have that ready. So how can all your fans come to one place to build the hype and back the book? You know what I'm saying? Like,
not only that,
it's a bad choice.
This is a horrible choice, because not only did he, you know, this blow up for him because of YouTube in part. And that's why you got networking with like the Blaze and Fox and shit. But also, that's why he had a fan base already established, aside from the external that wanted to back him. And this whole like, let me be professional, this like pussy move, it's bad move, because that's why people liked you, Eric, because you have this like gruff style, this like former hood guy gone seemingly straight and being a political commentator. So there's kind of the bigotry of low expectations because, like, wow, this nigga's talking politics. He making lots of sense. Whoa, and like white people are fucking cooming about that.
He in a way he kind of, I feel like, had balls at one point, like even like like in a way, like with the Zack Snyder stuff, like, you know, his friends were all, you know, on one kind of felt one way about it, and he felt the opposite and would voice it right away. He would voice what he thought was wrong with it or something, and would get in arguments with people on live streams. And yeah, like even if a lot of people disagree with him, like new people can find him later. Videos can trend at different points in time and whatnot. It just seems like it'd be smart to keep it up in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's literally like iDubbbz. iDubbbz was this guy that would like make racist jokes. It should be edgy humor. And now he's like literally a total cuck and just like basically libtard apologetics every day if he makes shit. And so he's clearly betrayed the fan base he built. It's actually no different.
Well, plus the live streams, I assumed were like a way for fans to interact more with him, or like for even newer people too. I mean, sure, I think he has like membership things where in like groups, Discords or something where people can talk. But I mean, there's usually there's usually the steps before that. People like to get to know you before they join groups and pay for access to stuff, like seeing you more often or being able to interact with you more often in a way. Which is kind of why in a way, like the trash cast method, a lot of people think is horrible because he's talking about people and bashing things often. But I don't know, it gives you a good sense of everything. You know, he's at least I feel like there is a sense of like, okay, you're not holding back what you think about something, so good. You know, instead of just like, I'm gonna be quiet, and not say anything.
That was a great clip. Him trying to equate Israel Palestine, this basically 100-year fight for modernity's sake, with people don't like my comics, they come at me. It's the same thing.
Yeah, Vito is much like a suicide bomber.
Oh my god, that'd be a great bit, especially with the call to prayer. Should be an extension of that. Michael Fedor show. Hello, what's up? Appreciate being here to detract with this.
He says that I don't have time for blood sports, and I'm saying like, well, welcome to indie comics. There is always going to be drama. You're always going to have beef with someone. You're going to have disagreement, debate wise on stuff that involves comics and making them. Like Eric, you're not going to. There's no indie comic book person in this space that has not always have to deal with drama or confrontation.
I mean, in a way, Rippaverse they'd be doing even worse if there wasn't so many detractors.
Yeah, like I said this a year ago. It's like we keep this in people's consciousness more than your fucking fans. Your fans go, "Oh boy, a comic," and then they wait a couple months or whatever. Oh boy, and it's just, oh, it's great, and it's just gaslighting. And you get a range with like EVS. He's art focused, so you get that perception of like, this sucks because what are you doing? I don't think really that way. I'm a story guy, and then I do it my way. Some people nitpick shit. I'm just about the story and how you're trying to sell it. Like the Bloodruth thing, I was like, what is this? Like this is not gonna work. You're limiting your fucking universe that already is established Greco-Roman gods existing, but then it's all just like, oh, it's only like Christian. There's only one hell, one dimensional.
I thought you wanted to start off like grounded, but then it's like really not grounded at all. I don't get how.
Yeah, it's
right.
We keep it going. We keep the business going. We help you actually make money. We're not afraid of it either. It's like make whatever money off your stupid fans to try to troll us. Like, oh, he's winning. Like, yeah, you bought 20 issues. Like, we'll see how long that lasts for you.
He gives his fans content to try to combat the detractors and stuff, which further keeps his name around. And
he thinks Larry and Sturgis will like be enough.
Do the work for him. Well, he's got Rippaverse goal post. He's got some people in the swamp, I would say. I wouldn't say directly, but there's influence there. But here's the thing. I just happen to think of something. I think he's lost not only subscribers, but maybe customers over time because he's not standing up to the quote unquote detractors. I mean, think about it. You have to feel frustrated. Like I would be frustrated if Ethan never corrected the record, or you know what I'm saying? Like just
well, Eric used to be the kind of guy that would stand up if somebody's talking to him or talking about him. I mean, going over the organized chaos thing again. He was like, "You're talking about me a whole bunch. What's up?" And rolls up. It's like, "Oh crap, he's here. What are you gonna say?" It's like, "All right, cool. There you go. That's
well,
was
it would
good."
show too. Like Eric could say, like, look, I deal with these haters every day. I confront them almost all the time. Like to show, like, to him, to make him, I guess, in his head, it would be a way to say, look how tough I am. Look, I can face criticism. I can face my detractors. I'm not afraid of anybody. You know, I'm here to 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 do what needs to be done and make comics. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Yeah.
fire there, and
Well, I
I would
guess
imagine his customers would feel so frustrated because it's like sitting there like, please, dude, please say something, do something. Like, I'm tired of fucking dealing with these people on Twitter. I'm tired of fucking seeing these streams and people talking about it. Like, fucking do something,
well,
say
and
something.
they'd be able to get him clips of him that they could play where he's leaning into people, which would be
Yes.
probably enjoyable for them. Plus, I feel like I was gonna say this earlier, but I forgot. Like when he's pulling back and like trying to not do as much like the YouTube stuff, the YouTube stuff being like a good connector for fans from all around to interact or super chat him or something. Like this is like a more corporate move of like Marvel and DC and stuff where they don't have to interact with customers directly. It's like
Which
it's
is
kind
what
of
he
a
was
Hollywood.
fighting
It's kind of a
against.
Hollywood move in a way to me of like furthering
Yeah.
yourself from the people on the front line that you would
hmm
meet normally.
That would be
Natural
fine.
way.
That would be fine if that's how he started. But like, if we're taking him at his word, he saved up 300,000 to fund this from the start. That was from grassroots. That was from YouTube. That was from going at Fauci,
Yes.
dissing Trump despite all of his peers, with like gun control topic. Monetize your haters, facing more or less easy enemies on your home turf, but still engaging the Jody stream, all that. Like, that's why you had fans. That's why you have subs and viewership, and you're killing it by doing this corporate pussy move. And you're doing it because
Yes.
you're a boxer that knows you can't fight anymore for whatever reason. There's obvious
Yes.
various reasons, but he knows he's going to lose. That's why he's not doing it. And he's trying to like engineer a narrative because he's got a fucking cult of weirdos like Sturgis that just regurgitate the talking point that he puts out. It's
Yes.
very obvious.
That's a great way to explain it. Because I would have to imagine, like, I know the whole talking point is, well, he's focusing on getting his comics out. What about Ethan and this and this and this? And it's like I don't be so frustrated. Be like, dude, then tell it to the person's face, or tell these detractors to your face. Like, if
Well,
you
it's
feel
like,
like you have so much ammo, speak up about it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like us fans are frustrated with EVS with his slow fucking pace. But then you get the product and it's like, oh, I forgive you, but
Yeah.
in
And he
between,
takes it. That's the thing. Eric
Yeah,
couldn't do that.
he's owned up to it many times. And if anything,
Yes.
the way he explains it now, like how he's gotten it to work over these years, all of it's been a learning curve for everybody who started like in doing the crowdfunding stuff back then. Like Eric was kind of able to come in around after a few years it's been around and kind of see how everybody
it's
functions
all
with it.
established.
So like EVS and them have had their fumbles, they're learning how everything works, how the shipping prices are awful, how expensive different things are, how long it takes to ship certain things if they agree to sign or draw head sketches of things, and how long it takes. Like I feel like just trying to say, do the work, you're streaming instead of doing the work, but it's like I don't know how many hours a day you're drawing something, like how often you can do that like effectively. Like you don't want to do it too much because this is a thing where like there's
Arthritis.
lots of hand injuries
Yeah.
people get from overworking their hands. So it's like you have to kind of balance it out in a way that won't like make it worse to where it takes even longer. What if he injured his hand? Like
Yeah, Rook.
would that be worse?
It's like they
know?
Rook. So it's almost like they want EVS to be like manga writers and artists
Yeah.
that
Oh
literally
my god.
sit there day in and day out and draw. Yeah, how does that turn out for them over there?
Yeah.
And it's like in a
Really,
way.
really quick,
Okay.
Michael Fedor, thank you for showing up. We're detracting Eric like usual, and first we're covering this basically I quit video that he put out and trying to like engineer this narrative of like, well, obviously I can't do YouTube properly, so hibbity jibbity. Like that's what we're
Like,
doing.
like people might think that it's a waste of time for EVS to be on YouTube streaming for hours, but it's like, I don't know, when you're working when you're working a bunch and dealing with family, and then like this is something he could be drawing sometimes while he's doing it streaming, who knows, but it's the time away from it. That's an important part of creative work, to not always be just sitting there doing something like you're an assembly line. I don't know. There's a lot to
Yeah.
it. I do think, I'm hoping that EVS gets in a way faster in the next couple of years after all the experience he's had, which I think it sounds like he's getting to. He's understanding how many people to kind of have employed to do what job, to have things priced, to have goals on when they can be released, what type of delays to expect. So
Yeah.
like it's only been 5 years since they started crowdfunding stuff, maybe 6, right?
And right now he's looking into possibly getting all caps in some comic book stores. So
Yeah. Well,
he
the thing
needs to get these
too.
projects done. He needs to get Rainbow the Brute and a lot of these projects done, because if he goes full swing with it, then it's gonna be busy. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to get these things out. But
Yeah.
he's not going to be able to. I mean, the Rippaverse is a great example of what happens when you rush your work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, because it's trash from the start. It's not going to get better. It doesn't matter. Like, look at the source material. He's been
Right.
found out. I saw him, exposed him. And Chuck Dixon's washed up, hasn't done anything in 20 years. Mike Barron, basically the same, in my opinion. He hasn't done anything since I don't know what was last, Flash or Punisher, but same thing in my opinion from what I've seen. I'm excited for a new Mike Barron books. I'm expecting it to suck too, like, and that's gonna be fun, like Gooding.
I give grace to Mike Barron.
No, I liked him on Shoes. He's a good guy, but he can't write anymore.
No, you don't know this Leviathan. It might be it could be pretty good.
Yeah, like if anything, Chuck Dixon, Silk, the Saskas, whoever, they write something good at the reverse, I'm here to admit it. You know, there's been moments where I'm like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
Horseman. There was things where I'm like, wait, what about that? And they actually start to address it.
They address it like in the next page or two, and it's like, oh shoot, nice. They thought of it. All right,
actually
good.
thought of that. There's still more to think about, but that's progress. And like, you know, I try to be objective, even though I'm here to laugh. But when you get me, you know, and I'll admit it. But yeah, just what I see, I don't expect anything. I read fucking Bronze Star. That was a waste of time. So yeah, Mike Barron's on my shit list. Like, he's not absolved. Like, I think a lot of people in Comicsgate turn a blind eye, or they'll just pass the torch to Eric's fault if Gooding sucks if they read it. But now I'm gonna give him the ownership. It seems like it was his idea, a lot of his creativity, and no punches held.
See, I wish, this is my main thing. I wish they'd talk about their creative process more. Like even if it's not Eric talking about it, the other people making the books to take a couple hours or something, or a couple minutes at a time, even record a little bit. Yeah, when I was thinking about the Horseman, I was thinking about this, and this idea came together, and then this is what ended up being what we got. Like, I want to hear what they're doing. Like, that would be informative stuff. That's not controversial either. That's just the creators talking about their ideas. This is why he like when Eric heard the pitch. What was the pitch? What was the actual pitch for the Horseman, other than a like DC thing, but we're making it for you? Like, that's not really a pitch to me. That's like just generic. The Avengers is popular. Let's make a team. Like, that's not a pitch. I like to hear more of the creative stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, it's like when they had the trailer for Yaira, like yeah, it sucked, but like they to me that would have been beneficial if the behind the scenes video was longer and had them talking about, well, we wanted to have there be this cool, awesome, huge ice effect, but we just didn't have enough time for the editors to put that in there before releasing the trailer. We tried to push it back, but didn't work. We only had a day to shoot the whole thing. We had a few other things filmed. It didn't work.
Ricky.
Like I'd want to hear
corporate.
They're
like, corporate. It's
that'd
like
be more that would intrigue me and honestly forgive a lot more like issues that are discovered or something. I'd be like, oh well, they address it here. They explain why. Whatever. Cool.
When
like,
you watch
that'd make more sense to me.
When you watch Star Wars original saga 6 films, especially the last 3, the prequels, behind the scenes, there's not really like negative interaction you're seeing, but you're seeing like in depth. You're seeing like just the fact of like episode 3 when they're jumping on the falling platform that goes in the lava. That scene, Hayden and Ewan tried to do the stunt. They tried to do it. They just didn't have the reach or the strength for the jump. And so after so many takes, they turned it over to the stunt guys to finish that scene. But that's like a failure kind of that they're admitting to, a shortcoming that was like a delay.
But it's neat to know that they tried their effort as best they could. And
right. So like that's like some of the depth you get with the old behind the scenes of like some failures, or like the original choice, especially when they talk about all the fucking hang-ups with like getting R2 on sand and how they're trying to film that with like him when Luke gets hit with the Tusken or the Jawas pop up, all these little things, all these hang-ups, the delays. It was a fucking nightmare trying to create it. The editing of the first treatment of Star Wars was shit, and then basically his wife saved it. Then you watch Rogue One or Force and what was it? The Force Awakens. It's all sanitized. There's nothing but good stuff. The worst thing I saw in Rogue One behind the scenes was Gareth Edwards talking about the nightmare of making a new Star Wars thing and the headache of trying to make new things, but how it's like you're stuck with like, well, it's got to look like Star Wars. How far can we push a design and it be new but still fit Star Wars? That was the most negativity you got.
I want to hear them go like, man, we had a thing for Rogue One and then we had to trash like however many percentage of it and then put all this there. I thought this would have been
never getting it.
Cool
It's Disney.
Trailer.
That's
Eric. No, I want to hear that in behind the scenes. But this is where Eric and them could like really shine, is by being like fully transparent about like their filming process or their writing process, their creating process in general. Like that's what they want to show people, right? Like how creative they are and like what was some of their inspirations and how some of them really thought of this to that, or who they batted ideas with and ended up coming up with something different. Like, I don't know. It just seems like, it's all magical and all created.
We win. We always
win. He's a legendary thing. And I'm like, I don't care about what his title is. I don't care what he's done before. Just, I want to hear what he's talking about with the current thing he's doing. Like if I want to look at the other stuff, I'll look at the other stuff. But it's that's why. So EVS will go into in depth about how he thought of Cyberfrog and created that, and what he thought of this or that.
Just the strength of he can jump this much, he can lift this much.
If anything, I want to ask him. I want to ask him how he came up with what made him think of Vespis as the name, as well as the why these giant space hornets? Why them? Why was that the enemy of Cyberfrog? Why was that what you made? I don't know if he's talked about that inspiration, but I don't know. That's kind of stuff I like to know.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna get that because
you're right because the NDA stuff all the time, which is like, oh my god, like that. It's not really spoiling if it's just out there. It's if you have it, and I don't know, it doesn't make sense.
Dude, he was trying to pull an NDA shit on himself because he already put it in the trailer, Icelandic coach or whatever for.
Right.
And then he was trying to oh man, I'm NDA myself, but it's supposed to be Icelandic, and it's like, why is that so hush? It's Disney did with fucking Legos. You get Kylo's ship set from Lego. I don't know if they made another one, but it does a V. But the Lego set, because of all the secrecy with Disney, they didn't even design it right. So the ship extends its wings like this. It does not fold out like it should. So that's how secretive they were with the fucking products being made. So they like hindered the enjoyment for fans that want the merch of the film. It's not even properly effective, you know? Like that's the kind of shit you give this NDA crap. It's not funny. It's actually fucking sad because this is supposed to be indie comics. No rules. We're having fun. We got no oversight. It's rock and roll. It's punk rock. That's the idea of indie comics. You know, that's why Todd McFarlane, Spawn, and Image took off, because it was like, fuck mainstream. We do all this shit. We got ideas. We're hindered by corporate, by editorial. We're going to make our own shit. Fuck you. If you don't have that spirit, you shouldn't fucking go indie. Just go apply at Marvel or DC or Dark Horse or whatever. That's the whole reason this is a boogeyman to the mainstream comic industry, because if you want to be a fucking transphobe and put that in your you can. You don't have to do the LGBT narrative if you don't want, or BLM promotion or whatever Ukraine. You can be fucking, yeah, Israel. Not only should they take Gaza, they should blow up every whatever. Like you could do whatever you want. Not that I'm for the Palestinians, but just putting it out there, the openness of this. There's no rules. That's the point.
Yeah.
Grogu says I could talk hours about his D&D ideas. You have to shut me up. Eric being able to talk about anything is just beyond set. And I think that's another thing it shows you the lack of depth with any of this. It's just, how can I make money? Let's throw this idea out there. I want to make ISOM, but I guess people want this white lady. All right, I guess I'll make it. Let the white women write it.
Yeah.
That's the excitement. Man, let's continue.
One-sided war because I have no enemies. Every week, there are people that are confused as to what I did to make these people so mad and obsessed. And it's as nonsensical as it sounds. It's always awesome to see some of the new fans that are led to us after they've come to that realization that
that's already kind of funny. Like he just admitted right there that like a lot of people talking about him can create customers, and it's like if he's talking as well or addressing those things, then probably get even more, probably be able to convince more people to join him in some way, shape, or form. Maybe.
I love how it's like I had to do this, and you see ice on it. It's like you really didn't, man.
I had to make
God told me to make these shitty comic books.
A time traveler came back in time and forced me to make ice.
Really being ambitious and creating a comic book company that delivers and apparently getting success that they feel that I don't.
You know, it'd be funny, this God narrative he put out, like, God, he told me to create. That'd be funny if it's actually like Judas. You know, Judas is this destined character to betray Jesus. He's like the most damned person in history. You know, Dante put him with the traitors of Caesar in the final level of hell. But he's a destined character. You know, it's kind of like Loki in the Loki show.
Necessary evil.
The tragedy of Loki is that in this alternate timeline version, he sees that like, oh well, yeah, Kang designed all this so there'd be heroes. Like you are the foil. This was your destiny. You were meant to fuck everything up so they could fix it. And now he sees behind the curtain. It's like, oh man, what would that feel like? That's Eric. He's fucking Judas Iscariot. He's here to make shitty comics so EVS can make loads of money off of laughing at it. God is giving him riches at Eric's expense.
Yep.
So maybe he's not wrong. Maybe God did choose him, just not why he thinks.
Don't deserve. I'm under no delusion that they can be stopped. I don't ignore them to make them go away. You can't ignore them away. I ignore them because writing, editing, and running the company and interacting with my family.
Angus, who else?
Katie, BA, the list goes on and on.
Your mic's been muted, Katie, if you weren't sure, just let you know.
No, you're good. You're good now. I'm letting y'all talk.
Cool. And better use of my time.
Funny. You're good. Go ahead.
We burst on a scene which put a spotlight on us, and I don't mind being the most criticized man in comics. These folks will critique every public move.
If you don't mind being criticized, then why are you running away from it?
Well, You know, he's like, oh, it's just a waste of my time because I'll never convince these people.
Well, it's
You
like,
don't know,
did
Eric.
he
You might.
do a
You
YouTube?
might. If he would just come out and just admit he's fucked up and wants to do better, you'd be surprised how many people you'd shit to buy the next comic he does because he's come out and admit that he's, you know.
Think how many more people he would sell to or get extra copies sold to just because he would directly be like, fuck EVS, you know?
Yeah,
They'd
he'd
be like,
honestly,
"Woo!"
he'd get every single person that hates EVS to buy a comic from him. Like, honestly,
Mm,
Yeah, like Pepsi and Coke, they have a great history of trolling each other with ads, you know, or like
yeah.
putting machines next to each other just to fuck with each other.
We're not like those other companies, like that one. You know,
Yeah,
honestly, that actually might be kind of subconsciously what we kind of like. We like to see two titans fighting it out in some way, shape, or form. We like to see a battle. We like to see some of that happen. It doesn't mean
Dude.
anybody's got to lose. You did, but both of you are technically winning. So who cares? Like,
Dude, when Philly went to Super Bowl in 17, we were already underdogs because our quarterback tore his ACL, so we had a backup. And he had a floundering career. So like, oh fuck, man, the one time we're fucking lighting it up, we're fucked. We're the first team to be underdogs, 1 seed. Shit. And then we pull it out, luckily, against the Falcons. And then we crush the Vikings unexpected because it started out like shit. And then we crushed them 38 straight points. But then we go to the Super Bowl. We're thinking, oh, maybe the Jags. That'll be, we'll probably get that. But no, the fucking evil empire Patriots with Tom Brady. We've already lost to in 04. He's went through all these different teams through history, and we're finally back, and we got to meet him again. The whole new team, new coach. And it's like, God, the gods are just totally against us. You know, that's the feeling. And to top it off, there's this recent history, last 2 decades. I think 1 or 2 teams in all of the history, these last 2 decades, have won wearing the home color jersey. It's pretty much every team wearing the white away jersey has won the Super Bowl. And the Patriots had the choice, and they were going to be the home jersey, but they knew about this. So they switched. They opted to wear the away jersey. And so any deep football fans like, fuck, now we're really fucked because like the trend. And but then the coin toss, every time the Patriots won the coin toss, they lost Super Bowl, and they won the toss. And it was like, that was the first good sign. But they were playing head games with that jersey things. They knew the stat, you know, and especially with 5 Super Bowl rings already, it was like, oh man, God, we're fucked. And so, yeah, you want to utilize those head games. You utilize the trolling and stuff, you know. Vikings did it with the Rocky statue. They put Viking shit on it before the game, which was, you know, sacrilege for Philly. You want to do those things. Or like T.O., when he played the Cowboys, he fucking scored like 3 touchdowns. He kept putting the ball in the center of the field, mocking the star, you know. That pissed everyone else, and they started doing like penalties on T.O. for that. People were attacking him literally on the game. You got to play those head games and face your foe directly. This like sidestepping, you look like a bitch. I don't get it.
we just watched Megamind, you know, like got out of the game.
Oh yeah, Katie's chosen to be quiet.
I let the men speak.
Yeah, Gerga says Eric's fans are doing a great job at promoting the EVS hate buys, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're just having a good time.
It makes them want to double down even more so to prove like EVS and detractors wrong. Like, he's still doing good. Look how much money he's making.
At some point, the Rippatards that are secretly trying to, you know, buy more books to prop this up and like, look, we're winning. You know, at some point, Eric not pulling his weight engaging this, they're gonna get tired of it. They're gonna be like, why am I doing all this work for this guy? You know, it's gonna feel like worshiping at a temple and you never get any of your wishes, any of your prayers answered. You know, at some point you're like, it's a waste of time, you know, like. So let him hang himself.
Yeah.
And when they run out of content, they'll just grab some old material, even if it's from years ago, and pretend to be upset with that. That said, there are those that are more full-time commentators.
Well, it's like
YouTube
you don't
that
have to be
go out of-
upset with anything to discuss something either. Like,
Or it could be like,
don't
hey,
know.
I never saw this, or I never really understood how to analyze this, like that Bob stream. I mean, we've already been like hammering it with some of the memes from that stream, but it's so insightful to really dissect that in hindsight, to see like, yeah, Eric was like this whole time, which I've said for a while. He hates white people. He's fucking woke. And then the audacity amongst this guy for his divorce, where it's like, do you know your dad, Eric? Do you see your dad?
Yeah, I thought that was really shitty of him to do that.
Yeah, it's just like, that's the kind of guy this guy is, you know.
Well, it's not really like a winning a debate thing. It's like, okay, that's an exchange, sure, but
You came
not
at
really,
me. Well,
not
I'm gonna
really
bring up
winning the
something
debate stuff.
unrelated to like distract and shame you. It's a bitch move.
Mhm.
Below the belt.
their way to correct the record, and we see and appreciate you all. Look, many just want to return to fun and entertainment. Doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on, people will get sour when they see us having a blast. It shouldn't be like that, and they should join in on the fun, but oh well. I'm blessed.
But it's like, but
thankful
that's what's
that
funny. He keeps on thinking that we're not having fun. That, like, people that detract aren't having fun. He thinks that's everybody getting mad. It's like, I'm not mad at all. Like, it's
I love
entertaining
these
to me. I
shitty
don't know.
books. I get
It's
excited
entertaining.
for shitty books, especially when it comes to mail. I get Rippaverse. Oh boy, yes, yippee. They hate that. They hate that we're having fun at their expense. It's like,
And that's why he keeps saying it over and over and over, because he's trying to convince himself and the audience that no, they're really mad guys. They're really mad.
Well, it's like when he says we gotta have fun. It's like it sounds like the SNL. It's look in the mirror, look at yourself, say I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and God darn it, people like me. it's like no, just it's okay, it's okay. Like, especially like I would think that he would understand it because he's probably like what, bashed Marvel and DC and stuff for a long time, I assume.
like 10 years.
I haven't seen too much. I've seen like a little bit of his like Miles Morales stuff. I haven't really watched his comic videos or anything, but I assume it's like bashing things, and I assume he has fun doing that. I assume he doesn't not like doing that.
It's actually weird because he doesn't ever really seem happy. He's just commentating. It's just a grift.
It's like I was about to say, like, unless he really didn't enjoy doing YouTube for 10 years, like, all right.
There's no excitement in his tone anymore. For as long as I've listened to him, it sounds like it's just, let's just follow the script and get this thing going.
How old is he? Is he like 30 now, or
It's like 35?
Okay, like, so I think he's still trying to find himself or something. Like, he's trying to do from dancing to music to YouTube to comic creating, whatever. Like, who knows what it'll be later.
Well, I mean, it seems like he had a successful band. Like, didn't his Backwards get like 500,000 views and put that?
Yeah, he said that
song.
That was a fairly successful music thing.
Yeah, it failed because he didn't put the effort in to actually grow it. He didn't do the effort.
Well, why grow it when he didn't monetize it? He admitted that he didn't monetize streams so people can do reactions to it.
Oh wow.
Oh, to the song, or
yeah.
No, I'm saying like, but he had a lot of views, so it seems like there's an actual music fan base for him. But it didn't pan out, his band, because he refused to like keep touring, which is how you get seen. You know, like, there's a couple bands I bought CDs of because I found them from going to a Mastodon concert. I love Mastodon. It's like, who the fuck's this? Pretty cool. So like Russian Circles, that's a band I know because of a band I like. But yeah, he didn't want to do the work and do the classic rocker struggle, eating peanut butter sandwiches on the road or whatever, so
you just said that because he's black.
No, like, I've heard fucking rock bands talking about.
I don't know.
Like,
I actually don't even know if peanut butter is associated with black people.
I think Motley Crue, like, yeah, they're like hot shit pretty much from the go, but they were broke a lot of the time. They would be like ripping, I think it was Motley Crue, maybe it's another hair band, but they're talking about outside of buying drugs, they're always broke. And so it's like, do I buy food? I'm full. Do I buy beer and I'm full and drunk? And so they buy beer, and then they'd be broke. They'd be like ripping up people's fucking fences for firewood to keep warm. Just weird shit, It's like it's literally like Highway to Hell. AC/DC, they made that song from their first tour in America, all being crammed on a fucking bus going all over the country, trying to build their name in America. That's where that song's from.
I thought that was Satan music.
Well, I mean, that's like the fun of it. It's like the devil, the spirit of, the carefree devil. That's like the imagery. It's the fun, the devilish fun of rock and roll. But no, it's like all their songs are based on like they read something, or like Thunderstruck supposedly is about like lightning hit their fucking plane. And so that's where the song came from. Or like Hell's Bells was written during a hurricane in the Bahamas when they were recording Back in Black.
I love how their music sounds very similar. All their songs sound similar, but they're all different enough to like, like, oh, now I like that one more than that one, or that one more than that one.
But yeah, like, you reading like classic bands from like 90s and back, almost all of them were like struggling poor fucks. Jimi Hendrix was homeless for a while. He was playing guitar on the literal street. Rats would be walking over him and shit.
Yeah, this sounds like how Eric would want to be. He doesn't want a Lambo. He doesn't want anything fancy. So wants to do it chill. He doesn't have any kids. Probably bring his wife with him on the road.
But that's rock and roll, is like, eating shit till you make it. And he didn't want to do it. So he's not.
He's lazy.
This guy's frustrating.
I know.
Because obviously he does have some success. Like some of his covers he did got some good views, I think I like boy band Eric,
I prefer boy band Eric, yeah.
That seems like where he was a little happy.
Yeah, it's covers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being black and his, hood shit or whatever, and trying to do rap, but then he switched to like rock and shit, and it's like, okay, cool. Like it's an oddity, and it's fun because rock is really a black thing, but it's been so stylized, and for whatever reason, black people overall have just kind of turned their back on the art form, which is sad, because it really is, if you think about demographics, it really is a black art form,
and it's like an easy opportunity that he doesn't want to take, and somebody be willing to give anything to have that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he's letting the gay ginger, he's letting them down.
Yeah, Student of God's got a great voice.
Student of God. I had a guy blocked, so I forget he exists till someone like retweets him or something. I'm like, oh yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying it's funny.
No, it's funny to I love when they showed that Sasuke sister Baphomet tattoo.
Yeah,
and the Student God's like, I got nothing. Like he couldn't refute like any spin. He's
but what he said something. I don't want to say it on here because I can't say word, but it was pretty nasty. I think it was his way of defending incest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen all these like, just I don't know, say like weird shit instead of
you degenerate. He's a degenerate. He's a closeted degenerate. I'm convinced.
That's what's funny. They're all hypocrites, like Yellow Flash always.
I'd be scared to look at his closet. I'm not gonna lie. I probably wouldn't want to look in it.
Trapped in the closet.
Are you in the closet too?
Have you ever seen that, Katie? R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah.
You have seen it.
Yes.
And then have you seen South Park's Trapped in the Closet?
Yes.
No, well, I was just surprised because I actually had a chance when I was younger to see it, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. It's a pretty good story, Webb. I like it. Was there ever a sequel?
I don't think so.
Yes, but it was on a CD.
Like
on an album.
God damn it. That was fun. That was fun, kind of like theater creation. I liked it.
See, Eric could utilize his music against EVS and stuff if he wanted to. Like, that'd be fun.
Could have been very creative.
Exactly.
I just saw Stoney's comment. Black people decided to rap the worst shit ever was somehow a better use of time. I don't know. Like some raps get like I love Hustle and Flow. Like that's a good story. You know, like yeah, that's what rap used to be, is like Hustle and Flow, and now it's just like gay boy YouTubers go viral for some stupid shit, or like I've seen this one guy that does a bunch of like SpongeBob shit go viral. That's kind of funny because it's not like typical black guy shit, gangster stuff. It's kind of white ingrained, I guess. The
White-esque.
memes and stuff. Sorry, what?
I said white-esque. I don't know. I was trying to be funny. Just move on.
White-esque.
It had a hint of sprinkle of white on the top. Yeah.
Sprinkle.
The Rippaverse, a go-to form of entertainment. Again, I take this very seriously and will put in the work to grow and improve. The Rippaverse isn't going to be for everybody, and people are free to their opinions. But I also recognize that businessman and creator Eric July is not something that everybody wants. Some follow me strictly due to my insight on politics or mainstream comics, and I'm asked every day about how I feel about the latest Marvel or DC thing. Why am I not doing reviews? I could be making a killing doing this, and some people may even walk away from the channel altogether. I totally understand, and I do not knock anybody that is uninterested in me focusing on my original content. There's nothing wrong with that. There are much better options out there offering commentary content, streams, and thorough reviews.
Like he says, I'm focused on my original content. Talk about your original content. You could do that on your channel. Talk about it. Today I'm going to talk to you. Today I'm going to talk to you about. Today I'm going to talk to you about Darren Fontaine. I'm going to talk to you about how I came up with him. Jasmine, you know, there's just an idea. You don't have to talk. You don't have to give any spoilers away what happens in the story. You just talk about the character.
Just hearing the name Darren Fontano, it sounds like something Bobby Boucher from Waterboy would be like. Yes, I was curious to talk about Captain Fontano.
That's true.
It like, just sounds like we're fucking retard.
Like he could be like, you know, and yeah, Alpha. He's like, yeah, Alpha Core. You know, I like creating them because, of course, there's like a trinity. People probably think, you know, I'm trying to do a Superman, Wonder Woman thing, and yeah, partially. But you know, I was really trying to think of this. This is what inspired some of the idea. Like, talk about the characters, man. Like, do it. Why not? That's something detractors and your fans would like all around.
NDA.
I hate NDA.
Gotcha.
So dumb.
I'm Gary
Katie,
from
Katie
Neurotic.
said she's got to head out.
Oh, that's fine. Anything to plug, Katie?
Tune in Saturday for my anime show. I will be back. We'll see depending on weather. But I should be back Monday morning for Good Morning Comics Gate. And yeah, that's about it. So hopefully I'm gonna try to set up a stream, paint some of the Cyber Frog and Salamandroid figurines I got. I just got to figure out what paint to get. But
let's go to Hobby Lobby.
If I go in there, I ain't walking out with just paint. I will be.
You're gonna get sucked in.
You're gonna walk out with some of that Eric July decor. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I need to go to Walmart for this. Okay?
No, some of it's from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Okay.
He
well,
knows.
either way, check me out there at the channel. I'm always putting up clips, and I have a second clip channel. Katie did clip.
Do you have like a team of people now that help make? I could just imagine you got like a little workforce. Because I'm like, man, or do you listen to everybody at like double speed? Because it's like, man, that's a lot of stuff to get through. That's crazy.
I've got some birdies. and they know who they are that help keep their eyes out for me. You know, because I'm not able to see everything, and they're good people, and very thankful for them. Because it's allowed me to be able to focus on promoting people, helping people out with their campaigns, and try to pivot the channel a little bit to that, you know, kind of format and stuff.
That's good.
But I don't know. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Black Angus. Welcome back. I hope to see you stream more often, and hopefully you can come on a Monday morning whenever, and all that good stuff.
I think next week I'll be free for Monday.
Okay. Well, hopefully, if depending on this ice weather storm we're getting,
it's like ice storm. I'm like, oh God.
Depending on the coming of ice, though.
Yeah, waiting on the coming of ice on.
Weather the storm.
We'll see. But I appreciate it, Black Angus. And Rook, it's good seeing you too, hon. You're always welcome to come by as well, okay?
Alrighty.
All right, bye, boys.
Sounds good. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
You too. Y'all behave now, all right?
No promises.
That was Katie's Cheeks. Go sub to her.
Katie's cheeks, yeah.
She should make a yoga channel with that.
That's actually not a bad. Doesn't sound bad at all. Katie's cheeks.
Oh my god, all the comments you guys be cooming.
Just the sandy cheeks.
Like
Katie
how do I been? You only been like this pose? That'd be a good graph right there. There's a channel if you are not subbed already. All right, let's finish this up. And there's actually a Melanie Mac based video we're gonna watch before we get to the Rippaveal. I have not watched Rippaveal, so I
we didn't even
know
get
what's
there
coming.
yet. Yeah.
And the G&G team or Critical Drinker or my co-host as. Some people will always see or want to see me as a YouTuber, but that's simply not the case anymore. I own and operate a multi-million-dollar comic book business. This is a dream.
Wait, let me see if I can go.
This is
fuck. Oh, bitch. If you don't know, Ricky Retardo here, Braxwell. It's weird because first off, they introduce him as like Brian Solari, Ingrid Valdez. I'm about to say Blackswell. Braxwell. But then you find out it's Jeremiah Braxwell. But like his name,
and when he and Alpha Core, he and Brian were they're a duo first, and then Ingrid.
Yeah,
so why is his name last in the roll call?
It's just like common talk on news that like, oh yeah, a lot of people don't like Ingrid Valdez, but Braxwell keeps vouching for her, but we never see it.
Yeah, she's got her damn mouth.
Or why
guys got to reel her in by going
don't like her. It's just it's a weird thing to like introduce this team that's established.
Wait. I don't believe that he vouches for her. All he says is,
right. He literally just brought her there, and Brian's like, "What do I do with this?" And he's like, And then it's like R2 and C-3PO or Han and Chewie, where you got to have one translate.
Rocket and Groot, just like, yeah. What do you mean she's got a whip powers or something? Like what?
Oh man, we should get Johnny Rocket to make a Braxwell comic with that. Do the Rocket.
All right, you can go to the bathroom, Braxwell.
Or no, it's like some reason he like does like a baby Groot, you know, and so then you get teenage Groot Braxwell, and he's
so
like,
you get, but he's when he's a little baby and he has a helmet too. When he's a little baby, he's got a little helmet on, so it's still a little helmet.
teenage Braxwell. Whoa, watch your fucking tone there, guy. Like
he's on the short bus because they wear helmets. So.
Short bus Braxwell.
He's honestly my favorite Alpha Core character. He's the least annoying. He just goes,
bet your ass. That's like his one line he's just said besides so that's why we laugh at so much because it's just like, what is it? He's just going
it's like his tongue is glued to the roof of his mouth and his bottom lips are glued to his top. He can't speak.
Oh, silent character is so cool, but it's like, he's not silent. He just doesn't talk in the comic. It's stupid. Oh.
Book business. This is a dream come true, and it requires a lot of work, especially because I'm really involved in the creative process. It would have been impossible for me to maintain this without scaling back on other things. This isn't some small scale one-off project. The Rippaverse is a full-fledged publisher and will continue to move in that direction. We also have Rippa which takes on creator-owned content. So I hope that people can like understand or empathize with what I'm trying to do here. As you've seen with the recent Rippaveals showcase, we're not playing around. We have big aspirations, and books don't make themselves. I'll pop in every now and then with some sort of short content, but don't be surprised if even that eventually phases out. It's all about the Rippaverse, and I'd be a very irresponsible business owner if I spent most of my time focusing on everybody else's work instead of my own.
That's literally how you built your channel, though. So, which got you the audience to sell your book. So kind of retarded, actually.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let me stop sharing this. So JJ Trujillo, our friend, he's doing pretty good lately. He put out this Melanie Mac based video. We're gonna check it out. Let me see. Present. Oh fuck! I said sure. Okay, good. Tab.
Tap-a-root.
All right, it's called "To Goon or Not to Goon." Melanie Mac exposes herself as a hypocrite.
Overlords at Sony are at it again with the Stellar Blade censorship, not only in outfits. Don't even get me started on The Last of Us 2, which has gratuitous sexual scenes that most of us would rather even not watch and need the eye bleach for them. But that's allowed. But a cute outfit, a swimsuit that looks like something you would see any normal woman wearing at the beach, nope. Not allowed. Gaming journos continue to be offended by beautiful female video game characters, but this doesn't surprise me. Also, what we're
I know where this is going.
talked about this time and time again with the video game characters and them defeminizing the female characters is they really want to blur the lines between male and female, and they want to create these androgynous characters. And in the case of what,
like, even if you're saying like, oh well, the original shit was more scandalous, but this is censorship. I'm like, I don't know. She's wearing a fucking bikini. She's kind of showing everything. I don't see the problem. You need to see her pussy lips in her bikini. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm on the liberal side of this. Like, looking at this, I don't see what the problem was. But yeah, she's gonna show herself as a hypocrite.
Women, they want to make them manly looking, and it's very odd. Stellar Blade's Eve is just boring. A doll sexualized by someone who has never seen a woman. I find this a really odd take. I think there still are some degenerate people that exist. Let's be real. We've seen them post their Rule 34 crap and all that, and a bunch of the like furry types people, a bunch of people even with like Overwatch fan art that draw really gross stuff. And so yeah, are there some degenerates who exist and want to turn everything pornographic? Yes, but I don't think that wanting attractive characters is that case. And the people who give us pushback for wanting characters to be attractive and aesthetic.
Is she American? Because I'm hearing like foreign tone. Like, she like,
I thought she was Southern, but
is she Albanian or something? Because
she could be a mix of something.
Sounds like she's like a Canadian French or Albanian or Italian immigrant. Like, she doesn't sound American.
Could have moved here from somewhere.
It doesn't sound like a Wisconsin or Minnesota, like that kind of Canadian draw.
The Storks might have dropped her off from the wrong.
Weird.
The Storks might have dropped her off from the wrong country. It's all good.
I'm just noticing this because I've seen like her F slur videos, and she talks clear. Like, she's got an accent or a twinge to her voice, but it sounds American. Sounds like English American. This sounds fucking weird.
Aesthetically pleasing to look at are the same ones who are all about that sex work is real work. They're the ones that are telling women it's empowering to have OnlyFans and things like that and this weird stuff. And not only that, but they're the ones that are like looking at all this queer pornographic art on Twitter and crap.
I showed you 2 videos by Melanie Mac in which she's defending Stellar Blade. She speaks out against people at Sony who are trying to censor the outfits of this character Eve, and she refers to them as evil overlords that don't want people to have fun. She defends these costumes, saying that it's basically just a swimsuit that you would see at the beach. She also draws a distinction between this and other video games which featured gratuitous sex, and also talks about how there is an actual example of degeneracy, such as people using OnlyFans and things like that. So she's recognizing
and
there's
it's
a
just
difference.
the skin option in the game. You don't even have to wear it at all. So
sure.
Between this outfit, which shows some skin, and the ample pornography, which has negatively affected society. Some of you may be wondering, well, JJ, why are you even making
why do they
this
keep
video?
on saying like pornography when they're not having sex or something? Like, why is that being conflated, or is that used properly here?
She's talking about people that like the same people complaining about this is misogyny or whatever are the same people that you find porn in their fucking feed and weird furry Rule 34 shit and stuff.
So, but they're not calling this pornography, or are they calling this pornography?
She's not. The whole thing is that she's doing the Free Stellar Blade thing, grift, talking about censorship of female form, female bodies. And this was like a game that a lot of the popularity was just like, oh boy, titty girl, you know. And then you'll see her crying the opposite in a minute.
Recently. Yeah, I got you.
This have to do with the price of tea in China. Recently, Melanie Mack has received an explosion of attention across the internet, mostly because of her reaction to this video game called Ascendant. Somebody tweeted out this. Then an account called Pirate Nation said, "Is this what gamers want?" Melanie Mack then responded, "No, not me. I like attractive characters, but I don't want to play something with naked butts, boobs, or bulges in my face, but I feel like a total loser playing something like that. I'm a Christian. I oppose making female characters look ugly or masculine, or changing their body types. I don't advocate for weird goomer games, though." The word gooner is internet slang for someone who is addicted to pornography and other related things. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that Melanie Mack can't have this take about this game, Ascendant. And I'm not saying that it's, all that strange of an opinion. In fact, many left-wing game journos, such as the ones that Melanie Mack was criticizing at the beginning of this video, have the same opinion as her. Only they were criticizing Stellar Blade, which at the time was a trending topic, and the popular thing to do on the right was to defend it. Back then, Melanie Mack made a distinction between the Stellar Blade costumes, which again showed way more skin than this one, saying that it wasn't all that different from swimsuits you'd see at the beach, and that it wasn't as bad as pornography, which she actually labeled as something separate. But she went on, I guess you could say, a bit of a tweeting spree, labeling this as pornography, despite the fact that it was, again, less revealing than the previous video game that she was advocating for. So my question to Melanie Mack is, why are you lying about this being pornography? And if she answers, "I'm not lying, that is what this is," then my follow-up question to her will be, then why were you promoting the pornographic video game Stellar Blade for months on end? And Melanie Mack wasn't the only person to jump on this train. After she basically decided to stand on this hill, there were others who decided to stand with her. Amongst those were John F. Trent and also John Della Rose. I find it a little interesting because when you watch most of John F. Trent's videos, you can see how he has a copy.
I didn't notice that. He's always playing victim. I'm gonna tweet something. It's literally like the feminist throwing shit over the wall and it gets thrown back. Misogyny. He does that shit. He plays victim. He's so fucking annoying. Especially with his like Christian nationalist shit. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't think Christian nationalists care about fucking Star Trek, a commie fantasy.
If anything, it probably opposes them to a degree.
Yeah, it's like the value of Star Trek is like there's like sexual liberation aspects. There's racial.
Star Trek wants to reach the peak of human like possibility.
Yeah, it's like a fantasy that basically religion's a non-factor for humanity. Like we're all kind of a united, homogenous Borg society that is being a third party in all these new found societies or already established societies, or being like an intermediary. We're the enlightened ones reaching the frontiers of space. But there's also kind of social commentary. They kind of alluded to this like peace with the USSR with one of the late films in the 80s. The Klingons, I think, were supposed to be like Russian allegories. Probably more stuff, but yeah, like it's a total commie fantasy. It's a communist utopia idea in film. And so it's really weird when right wingers try to like cling to that show, because it's like, no, like, yeah, people leftists are right when they say you would cry about, not you, Rookie, but these people. It's like you would cry, make woke videos about Uhura and Kirk kissing, because it's racial. It's first interracial kiss on film, so it's a big moment. That's what Star Trek was. It was a part of like hippie revolution. It's one of the many cogs. So yeah, it's really weird. That's Delrose is always trying to grift Star Trek.
Copy of JDA's book, Deo's Fault in the background. And it's really funny when you look at what the cover is. Do John F. Trent and John Della Rose really think that this is pornography? I guess it's fine if they do, but then what the heck is this cover that JDA made?
Oh, I'll show you one better, JJ Trio. You may not be aware. It's the cover I want. It's by Sashi. Sashi does some great gooner bait. Sashi Deus Volt. Let me show you this bad boy. Yeah, if I can. God damn it. I'm going to go on eBay. Deus Volt comic. Okay, found one. Here we go. Let me log out really quick so you can't see who I am. Deus Volt comic. Sorry, people. It's very pertinent I show you this. There we go. Let me stop sharing this. Share screen. Here we go. This is the Sashi cover that was for Deus Volt, the same comic, because there's like a cat people chick that accompanies the character. So it's obviously like
You
even
mean this
got
pornography you're showing?
pornography. Yeah, like you can see the nipple outline. This is a naked character that is just kind of churched down with like the nipple exposure. It's like, oh, it's just her
Side boob.
Whatever, you know. It's like, oh, it's covered. It's not an exposed nipple, so it's safe for work, you know. But it's like, look at the detail of the ass. Like, this is total gooner bait. And this was the alternate cover for Deus Volt. So yeah, Deller's a total hypocrite. EVS pointing out he's a hypocrite today with like him talking about Jason Aaron's woke and always takes every character and turns it into like the stories about a strong female. And then EVS like, this you, bro? And it's all of his comics got like chicks on them. Because he's a fraud. John F. Trent's a fucking fraud. He's the one that would do these stupid what do you call it? Like the Last of Us commentary where like for no reason you're trying to read a review about Last of Us, good or bad, and he's like, according to Catholic Church. It's like, what does there's nothing about Catholicism in this fucking show. Like
Right.
Yeah, that's these people. They're conveniently outraged.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. Stoney says, if you're going to share that, I might as well share my comics. Like, yeah, Stoney gets porn comics. All right, back to JJ. I had to hit the nail on the head with that one to show the hypocrisy.
I mean, just look at that. You see how grossly exaggerated, the woman's chest is, and then also she's just got like some pasties on. But then the even more insane part is how she's got a cat tail. She's actually like this, cat human, basically a furry. So is JDA making this hardcore furry pornography? Because if you were to, label Ascendant as such, then this is way worse.
No. My cat character, my character had to be a cat woman. Like she had to.
No. You don't understand. My cat character is a Christian.
It's important to the story that she's a cat
lady. Dude makes once you start realizing like he says whatever to try to get views, then it's like, oh, okay, like he's a grifter, And sometimes he has good commentary, but yeah, he's a total fucking grifter. He's two-faced. Shit makes no sense with the stuff he makes or what he promotes.
Question is do these people actually think that, this video game is as bad as it is? And it's fine if they do, but that only leads us to wonder how exactly that would label this book, Deus Volt, and Stellar Blade, a video game which many of these people defended for months on end. Now, again, to be clear, I don't care how you feel on this subject. Maybe you're on Melanie Mack's side, and as long as you were consistent and you also agreed that Stellar Blade was bad, then, I respect your opinion. Or you might be on the opposite side of her, and you might say, I'm okay with both of these, and if you're consistent on that, again, I also respect your opinion. I grew up Amish, so I don't really play video games a whole lot, especially since I'm extremely busy, And even if I were to play video games every day, I don't think that either Ascendant or Stellar Blade are video games that would interest me. And if I was to play them, I don't think I would have my avatar dressed up in either of these costumes. It's not really the type of thing that I like to do. And I don't think my wife would really like it either. Now, with that in mind, I don't consider either of these pornography.
That's where you're wrong, JJ. You need to slap her and tell her, shut the fuck up while you play Stellar Blade.
And I'm not bothered with the fact that people like to play these games. But I am bothered by a lot of people on the internet who don't really seem to believe the things that they preach. If Ascendant is gooner bait and it's degenerate and we should Fahrenheit 451 it, or even just discourage it, then the same should be said about Stellar Blade as well. So in my opinion, Melanie Mack is not just a total hypocrite, but also a liar as well.
What does it matter if it's gooner bait?
It's just part of the moral outrage because it's like cool right now on the right to just like harp on porn all the time.
Well, no, but it's like it's not like they did this to who's like, I'm trying to think of like a righteous character or something, like a very popular character that isn't dressed down in any way.
Mario.
I can't even say Leia because gold bikini, you know. So it's like
Mario. Like I don't know. I'm not.
I guess I'm like a female one. Like
I mean, isn't
like
Princess Peach always in like a dress?
Yeah, but she's sometimes in a skin tight suit, like Samus.
Really?
Samus is either an armor or like a sexy like onesie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like skin tight. It's just like
it's kind of the whole point. Like you look at any old ad for video games, they're always playing with the line of horny boys. You know, with the marketing.
So my point is more so like, why do they care if people get this? It's not so like, the issue that most people will take is like, there's a franchise that I like Melanie Mack will die on the Tomb Raider hill. She's a Tomb Raider fan through and through, whatever, however she feels about other things. She's a Tomb Raider fan. She does not like a lot of current Tomb Raider stuff because they keep on uggifying Tomb Raider and whatnot.
Did she say that about the 2013? Like, I get if you don't like 2013 because you like.
I don't know what she thinks about the 2013,
but the image of her, like she's a fucking hot woman.
I don't know what she thinks about that one specifically, but like the point is, like, I can understand her like being upset if like they made a Tomb Raider game and they had her be super sexualized, like more than what she normally is. I guess I could see her be a little upset with that. But if it's a different game with other characters that aren't ones they care about anyway, like I don't like Stellar Blade series never began as a like Christian covered up game anyway, right? Like, oh, yep, you got to be all covered up. Like who cares? So like that Stellar Blade has its thing. You know, you get what I'm getting at here? Like this something like completely different. It'd just be like, hey, if there's a movie that comes out right now that we didn't care about anyway, that wasn't connected to anything we care about, we're like, can you believe this? Like, what is it? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just moral outrage for clicks. They're phony. It's
if in the Northmen or something, like, can you believe how much?
Dude, all these dudes. It's funny you say that because like, Northman has gratuitous nudity, if not sex, in the film when he gets on Taylor Joy. No, they like it. That's part of the appeal. Is like this brooding hulking fucking Viking smashing on a Taylor Joy. It's like nice, you know. Everyone was promoting that. I was like, yeah, it's unwoke. Yeah, masculinity. Woo, white people.
Okay, so I guess I get really confused then on what the problem is when they showed the clip of the whatever game that was current here. They're talking about. What?
Somebody says censorship is anathema to art. Yeah. Rookie discovers that people wear different clothing at different times.
Yeah, well, no, I know that. That's why it's funny because I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is in the first place with anything.
Yeah, it's just a new era of like the 80s was a heyday for satanic panic. Every metal band's leading your child to hell because there's a couple, you know, metal nerds that like suicided themselves and they were fans of like Ozzy or something. So it's like, oh, it's the metal. Play the record backwards. It's got a Satan in it. Like that kind of shit. It's just the new era of them trying to generate that. But no one fucking cares about church anymore. That's the only reason church shit ever resonates today with messaging is because people are so lost, they're directionless. So it's an easy way to like dupe people with purpose, but it's really not fulfilling because we're just realizing what Nietzsche wrote 200 years ago about basically Christianity's like run its course. Whatever value it's had for society, it's now a defunct philosophy, more or less. Like, yeah, it's there's like surface level concepts that resonate or sound hopeful or whatever, but yeah, overall none of the shit resonates. Like abortion, people will be anti-abortion because the book says murder bad, but they don't really have an in-depth reasoning in their own brain to pair with the book said that and to like enrich both ways. It's that's the platform. It's just, oh well, the book that I think I know at all says blank, so that's my position. Or Sodom and Gomorrah, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, so gay's bad, And it's fine if you have that, but a lot of people, their platform politically with their religion is so surface level. That's what's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And you get it with this kind of gay shit, like, oh, the Catechism of Catholic Church, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I was trying to read about Last of Us show. Like, what the? Did they present the Catholic Church in a wrong way? Like, no. Oh, so that was stupid, Especially, again, Catholic, Orthodox, the higher forms of Christendom, they're not Pentecostal, they're not hellfire and brimstone. Like, that is reality, but that's not the messaging. And so you're only hurting your faith. The more enlightened faith looks stupid when you try to do this like American Enlightenment Baptist Pentecostal shit.
Some of you guys might be saying, well, maybe Melanie Mack just defended Stellar Blade because that was a popular thing to do at the time, or, she hadn't really thought about it that much. But that's just basically admitting that she either A, caves to social pressure, or B, that she's not very intelligent. But I don't agree with that because she actually gave a very clear distinction in her Stellar Blade defense as to why it wasn't pornography, differentiating it from furryism, OnlyFans, and gratuitous sex that was featured in other video games. Not all that long ago, Melanie Mack was an activist for the LGBTQ community. Look at this post she made just back in 2020. It's so sad that things are this way. I agree with you. These companies need to work on better representation and start letting their characters be gay, bi, pan, ace, etc. I always had a crush on Chris Redfield, but I would 100% support him being gay. Honestly, I'm super confused with this tweet. I don't even know what some of these terms mean here, these far left-wing SJW terms.
Wow.
What does ace mean? I know that pan means bisexual. It means you're attracted to men and women, but it comes from the Greek word which means everything, which raises some questions. What do you mean by everything? Does that mean men and women, or does it also mean girls and boys?
Popsicles,
anyway, I still don't know what ace
whatever.
means. And like I said, how deep in the far left-wing rabbit hole do you have to be to use that word unironically? Again, this is Melanie Mack just a few years ago. But the Melanie Mack of today has had a bit of a pivot.
You know what I am sick and tired of? Faggots. Can't post anything on social media because somebody's offended with some crayon flag in their bio. Faggots!
The reaction.
Duty, pornography crap. Faggots! Can't even get an email.
The same guy that made your bitch made
Yeah.
Brian.
No, I love
right?
Mr. John's movie.
Pronouns and a signature. Faggots! Faggots!
She's actually built her whole brand on a complete 180 of what she was just a few years ago. Some people may argue that this change is genuine, that she is essentially the Paul of our day. On the road of Damascus, she had a very powerful...
Oh, right.
Oh,
Never mind.
no.
Never mind.
She
No,
has
you
reformed
already told
herself
me.
completely. After reading the writings of Paul, I've come to the conclusion that this is probably true. Paul spoke exactly like Melanie Mack. Okay, in all seriousness, though, I think I'm beginning to see a pattern. Every time Melanie Mack tries to make her views what she would perceive to be more abrasively far right, she gets more likes, clicks, views, and consequentially money. Now, to be clear, I don't have an issue with referring to people as bundles of sticks. But I do have an issue with somebody LARPing as something that they're not because they know that it will get them lots of fame and attention. And if you're going to use that word, make sure to use it right. But maybe I'm just a little too skeptical. Am I judging Melanie Mack too hard? Perhaps she is, after all, the face of traditional conservative values. Tradcon is the hip thing say nowadays. She is truly the Abigail Adams of our day.
Corn
Thanks
on
for
my
taking the
screen.
time to
Oh
watch that video.
God!
I hope you enjoyed
I'm sorry,
it.
I didn't know there'd be corn. Oh no! Oh, this Melanie Mac corn. Oh God! Please, no one make Rule 34 of Melanie Mac
See,
corn.
but it's
That would be
optional if I
horrible.
want to view it or not. You know, like,
You know, it's unfortunate. Is like, no, I think Melanie Mac looks fine. I know there's
Yeah.
the whole makeup thing with her and that she's like 40, but no, she looks good. She's a good looking 40-year-old chick, childless, divorced 40-year-old chick. She
I
looks
don't know if
pretty
she's
good
around.
for
I
that.
don't know if she's 40 or she's more around our age. I
Yeah,
don't
she's
know.
like 40. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Childless and divorced, but yeah, keep touting Christianity and shit. Okay. In fact, you're divorced. If you ever get remarried, like, first of all, divorce isn't real if you're Christian. Sacrilege. Remarriage, now you're a whore adulterer, so you're just fucked. You're just fucked, Melanie. Whore.
now I'm just wanting to play the rest of that song.
It's a catchy little beat.
Tired of the fight with you. I'll do the thing all day and night with you. Like the way he makes the AI sound is really good. Like I don't get how he does that so well and makes the voices, like, finds the voices to pitch nice and neat, like it's singing a good song. It's like, what? People said AI would be horrible. Look what it
Oh,
can
you
do.
should make a Melanie Mac AI porn. That'd be great. That would be terrible. Oh no. Yeah,
Making
make her
Melanie
like
Mac porn would
porn,
be
but it's like in
terrible.
church with like a rosary and her like kneeling, just all sorts of crazy stuff.
Laura
Her on
Croft
an
is there. No,
altar.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You know, it could be Christian pornography. Porn to lead you to church. Actually make it exclusive. You can only see this porn in church. There you go. That's how you get the people in the seats. Fix the problem.
I wonder if she'd get along well with the Saska sisters.
Oh, you mean those good Christian women with Baphomet tattooed on their whole back? You know, the
Be
symbol of
a
Satan.
good trio of women around here, you know.
Yeah. All right. So Rippaveal time. I have not watched any of this
I'm
shit.
hungry for some Rippaveal. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum.
Rippaveal.
I would have loved it if he, like, the try our, you know, new fresh from the farm Rippaveal. Right here, you know.
All right,
We're trying to get it in local stores as soon as possible.
I'm only like a minute into this. So let me pull this up. But yeah, what's up, Wolf Mob 13? Ace means asexual. Yeah, I knew that. Sony says maybe one day we make a full comic book with my stuff and play it completely straight. Yeah, dude, you do great on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Have you looked at Sony's page, Ricky?
I'm sure you've shown me at least a couple of his work that he's done, but I don't know if he's done anything recent.
Let me share it to you. Messages. There we go. Got his page. Sharing it to the rookie, the critic.
Which is me.
Hey, that's me.
Rookie the White. And don't you forget it. Rookie the White.
What? Overcapacity? Please wait a minute. Go fuck yourself.
It's overcapacitated.
No, it literally gave me like I tried to share it and it went pink and it's like, oh, Twitter load is overcapacity.
Twitter's retarded right now. Hold on. Wait a sec, bro. Whatever. Let's play some Rippaveal for the moment.
No, it went through. It's just getting stuck into the wormhole term. Like, stop it. Here we go. Showcase. Let me get the chat off the screen. Yeah, I've literally not watched all this. I know Ricky's seen most of it through Trashcast. I started listening, but then I'm like, wait, I know I got to react to this. So,
floppies, but this will now lower the cost of entry while not having you wait so long between issues. It's going to be a very productive year, so we'll start with some things that you may already be aware of. Let's take another look at the Rippaverse Trinity.
I'm done spending an obscene.
Oh, damn it. Ads on top of a little.
And it's
ad.
got some steak in there, right? A little Rippaveal factor.
Rippaveal.
That adds drunk 3PO. There you go. In the female epic mic.
In 2022, the Rippaverse launched with Item Number 1, written by company founder Eric.
We know that many of you love the collected work, so I'm really excited for you to get the first volume of the Rippaverse Trinity. The remastered art of Cliff Richards looks great, and it's also our first ever oversized hardcover. It's up for pre-order right now, so go reserve your copy. But moving on, not too long ago, we announced our first cosmic hero, an original conception of both Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett. It looks like many of you are very excited.
What? Kills must die. You should have had a voiceover for this. Captain Zalin.
Close enough. All right. All right.
Kills must die. Okay.
I don't. Why do they say things like that? You know, let us do what we do. What kills must die. Do they like try to come up with like these weird sayings all the time? Just trying to come up with like a catchphrase or something. Just I don't know.
John Delarose pitching this gay Star Trek fandom.
What goes up must come down. Yeah, but like, why is that like an epic trailer? That wouldn't really sound like anything.
I really think they should have voiced over. What must?
Hey, this is Chuck Dixon. I got a new project coming out called
Colonel
Sandler. It's a brand new
Sanders.
character I co-created it with Joe Bennett. We cooked it up in our sick little minds. He's a space-going, spacefaring, cosmic warrior, and he's going to play a major part in events coming up in the Rippaverse very soon. I think you're going to really like this guy.
No. Keep it on
Mike
him.
Barron.
No.
Been writing
Dang
comic
it! It's like what? No, he was just about to start telling us about the character, but
Gooding Services.
They cut him off. It's like,
Gooding
oh man,
Services, rookie.
all my life. I started out with my own creations, Nexus and Badger, and I'm happy to say that both those characters are alive today. Nexus is probably the most honored independent superhero comic of all time. From there, I went on to write many other titles for many other publishers, but I've always been drawn to fringe characters. And when Eric July asked me to write Gooding, I jumped at the chance. Gooding is the type of character I might have thought up myself, a self-made millionaire, a genius, an autodidact, and a polymath. Polymath is a master of many disciplines.
Polymath.
Now, you may have read.
Eric has defined how to say polymath. I know someone saved that video. He's like, yeah, check out Gooding polymath.
But it sounds like it was this guy's creation. So
no, Eric made it, but then he had no idea what to do with it. So like, yeah, you write this, Chuck? Or
okay,
Mike. Yeah.
All right.
The first Gooding, I hope so. And they say that a writer should write what he knows, but it's also the writer's job to imagine every point of view. So the writer has to put his head in whatever character.
Take that plate, evil foe. They really should hire Mike from Red Letter Media to narrate
voice
these
little
comics.
stuff. Yeah. They'd probably do it for fun if they got paid for it. Like, all right.
You know how great that would be? People would be jumping to buy these stupid
and imagine they do little imagine at the end of their videos they do little cells for the Rippaverse.
Uh-oh. Got
hey
a
guys.
Karen sighting.
Bye.
Karen sighting. Uh-oh.
Hello, Karen.
Shut up, silly woman.
Welcome, Karen. Welcome. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yep. Holiday stuff I don't do or say. Yep. Whatever.
Yep.
They're
It's
trying
New
to be
Year
catchy,
Angus.
but are doing it wrong. Everything kills to eat to live. So does that mean everything must die?
Well, it's just like, remember like the Yaira trailer, time, it is blah blah blah. Where they talk about things, like, what are you doing? I don't know. It's like they sound
They're
weird
not
when they talk. It's like just really broken sentences. I don't get it.
Yeah. Fucking retards. But we're here for it.
Attempts to make real, or otherwise he'll fail. Believe it or not, Gooding's trick against Ron Hodges in high school comes from personal experience. I had read Alpha Core and some of the other offerings that the Rippaverse has since produced, and I was determined to open the scene up. And that's why Gooding #1 is much bigger than Gooding in the origin and deals with matters of life and death, as most of these books do, and also with international disputes. But I was thinking of Alpha Core, and I realized that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
I'd love to learn
that the
about
exist-
the international standings of the planet Earth in this
of just
post
what
Texas as a
America.
country planet that we live in this Rippaverse here. So that'd be neat.
Of Alpha Core, a number of superheroes dedicated to good in Flora Spark, required the rise of another organization. That's where Delta Base came from.
Doesn't this picture just get you excited as a young person? Like, oh boy, look at
It's
this
like he looks like he's like honestly sighing and going, getting Bueller.
It's a real creep picture.
Just have him smile, just have him laugh.
Yeah, the best they do with the art is having like a smirk, but it's always like side-eyeing you, or it's never just like a normal like, "Hi, I'm Angus. Welcome to the show."
Yeah, like your picture where you're holding up Yaira is like
Yeah,
a brilliant
where I'm like,
example
"Oh boy,
of joy. You had utter joy.
they were so mad."
They get whenever they see you happy and successful, it really irks them.
It really is funny how fucking like this is like hell lore. He like basically alluded like a fucking threat. Like this is who this guy is. Blah blah blah. Like it's like what the
He
fuck,
buys
man?
things and makes fun of the
To use Eric's quote, this is about comics. This is over comics.
Yeah, and what's wrong with buying a comic and trashing the comic?
All right, guys, let's get to the rest of the showcase. We have a bunch of announcement trailers lined up for you today.
I miss you. I miss you so damn much. Things weren't supposed to be this way. You should still be here, next to me.
I have no idea who anybody's talking about.
Mother.
Oh, Mother.
If
Okay.
only I could turn back the clock or find some magic to bring you back. Grandmother tells me I should not interfere with the nature of things, but she broke the rules with grandfather.
It's like that image is pretty cool. Fucking dragon
Yeah,
wolves
there's
and black
decent
lady Van Helsing. It's like that's
Decent
pretty cool.
conceptual imagery here.
No,
for
it's
sure.
like it's good image until you show someone ISOM 2 in our introduction. Like, wait, what? It's a castle in the desert of Texas that he drove a truck to. What?
Yeah.
Is a price I am willing to pay the coin for.
See, my brain goes to, so did the state of
She says-
did the country of Texas build that castle, or she constructed it herself? Did Gooding Services help build the castle?
Gooding Services. No, they just
Did
they
she
give her
use
Firewatch.
She used her magical blood powers to do it, but it's blood powers, not like create castles powers. Like, what do you mean? Like, create the materials into place. She rich.
Tony points out a great thing. He says superheroes dedicated to good as opposed to
dedicated to selling cheese.
That's how you know these people are fucking retarded, including Mike Barron. Sorry, Katie. Never gonna stop. Mike Barron sucks. He will get my ire.
Yeah, I just wish they were would be more clear with anything they talk about. Just go more into what it is, Like, why not? That would just make
It is
more
forbidden magic. I wouldn't hope to accomplish this feat.
Oh hell no!
There's only one hell, not multiple. Silly
Fictional
hells.
nonsense.
Not multiple silly hells.
Without having one of the world's greatest magicians to assist.
Well,
Well,
black
Nana,
people.
I just so happen to have one of those. And he owes me big time. Their souls are on the other side. Can I hope to traverse oblivion to be with them again? My family. What I wouldn't give for you to be beside
all
me
hell
like you
no.
used to be.
Wait, is that for the first Blood Ruth? No, number
the second
two.
one. They're already pitching.
Wait, but they haven't even done the first one yet.
Shut up.
Why are they doing the second one? So that trailer actually annoyed me a little because it's like saying all this stuff, but it's like we don't have any context for anything they're saying here. So it's just like, okay, it's just like I don't know.
You know what that's like, Rookie?
I have no idea.
My first job working at a gas station before I joined the army, I would get like the previous day's USA Today, and sometimes I'd flip through it. And I was flipping through entertainment, and it was talking about like Robert Downey Jr. or something. It was talking about like, it was at the point where they didn't know if they're going to sign him after Avengers 2. And so he hadn't got Ultron yet. But then like it said in the paper something about Iron Man 3. And so it already spoiled any tension for his character.
Right. Or like Black Panther, but then he's like in Avengers and it's like, oh, he's fell off the cliff. He's totally dead. No, he's not.
Yeah, they're like pitching 2. It's like, we haven't read 1, you fucking retard.
So that's actually not my problem. My problem is I don't know anything about anything that happens in the first one to really care or know if I'd be interested in anything about number 2. Like, this is what I would probably wait to announce until after Blood Ruth 1 is out. Because it's just like, this means nothing yet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know any character yet in Blood Ruth. So why are you showing me a second trailer? It's like, leading up to Star Wars, didn't people think Star Wars was going to be silly? And then it's like, wow, everybody saw it and liked it, and then told everybody else to see it all the time. But it's like if they showed trailers for Star Wars for all 3 of the trilogy at once, they'd be like, what? But they're years. I don't know. It's weird.
No, I agree.
Wait till after the first one's out to show the sequel trailer. My point.
1 second. This one might work. I got a perfect little clip for you. I just have to download it.
Okay, trying to.
I thought you were going to ramble on for another minute. So I was like, okay,
no, I was waiting. I was seeing if you had anything else to add, and I finished my point.
No,
there.
your thing was kind of different from mine, so I'm just like, kind of same, but it's kind of
just
different.
like let's say I'm making a movie, but then before you see my movie, I give you a trailer for my next movie, and it's just like, what? That doesn't really serve anything yet because nobody saw the first one yet. So, like that doesn't really make any sense. It just don't.
Shut the fuck up.
It just don't make no sense.
This is what I was thinking when you were talking about that.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Yep.
Every time like, oh boy, Blood Ruth 2. And it's like, where's Ice on 3? Like, I know they're gonna pitch at some point in this, but that should be kind of the fucking thing to start. Not Blood Ruth.
That's the grand finale.
Like, hey, we already got Blood Ruth 2 getting made.
Talking about it. But we should talk about it more as a nation. It was an already fractured territory. Texas today is not Texas of yesteryear. What seemed like a usual international conflict changed the lives of everybody. Especially me.
Yeah, so they're finally going to address
They're
this.
finally going to address this
right.
big fucking thing. I guarantee when we get it, you're like, what?
So I'm glad they're making it, but I'm sure it will not really be well. But I I will read it.
That's actually how you
because
should have
that is
started this
funny.
whole fucking universe, is with that.
That was the main sell, and then see what happens after this event happens. Because then you create essentially the state of things.
That looks pretty good though. The images they showed.
Yeah, like
especially the chick.
looks.
I'm like, nice. I think that was at least those images. It's all probably I think from the cover or some alternates by Kanan White. So look like his style. So
This will probably be their most like interested concept.
Yeah,
I think.
There's an upcoming project, The Great War of Separation. This is a major, major event in the Rippaverse universe. It's written by me, drawn by Jack Herbert. It looks astounding. The artwork looks astounding. But the thing you need to know as a Rippaverse fan is the story takes place decades ago and explains how Texas became an independent state from the rest of the United States and how a lot of the characters that you already love in these stories came to be.
See, and the way he phrased that makes me think that Texas was just itself and went, "I'm a country," and then the rest of the world is all normal. But apparently it isn't.
Also, it just goes to show, like I've always talked about, it's an afterthought. Like, oh right, yeah, she probably should actually address that finally. Like,
it's just like honestly, like I could see that being a longer term of their series, like dealings with again, like does
it said limited
Texas,
series, so
does Texas as its country deal with but it's not going to deal with anything we're thinking of, like it's not going to deal with like, okay, how does it get trades from international countries? Would they become partners with Russia and take potentially hold some weapons
China.
their base? And I don't know, just saying, I don't know, it'd be interesting.
What makes them accepts and what is an accept, and a lot of this is explained in The Great War of Separation, coming soon from me and artist Jack Herbert. This is a great big honkin' origin story that you're going to need to read.
I'm going to say honky.
Yeah,
I'd already looked it over.
Yeah!
I believed, but I like to look my clients in the eyes. William Scotcher, Chief Operations Officer of Fritford Trucking. They are being targeted. Tens of millions of dollars worth of goods have been intercepted. They only deal with high-value loads, and this has to lower trust with
high-value loads. Very poor choice of words. Stoney, make a porn parody clip of that. That's hilarious. Just have like cum shots with Rippaverse logo somewhere in the video.
We're prepared to take on multiple loads at a time.
Yeah, failure's not what we do.
the other companies.
You took that like a chump.
The inventory is all over the place. Either they're targeting Fritford, or they're just opportunistic vandals. It must be the former. They're too bold. So, who has the most to gain? A competitor. Very few companies handle luxury goods. It just so happens that Flores Park Logistics had to downsize a few years ago. The first time ever. Why don't we pay them a visit?
Lethal Force. Yes, for Eric. Yes.
Man,
Why do
issue
people
number
wanna live in this town?
one of the Ripazine was something else because we didn't know how well the Ripazines were going to do. It was one of those things that we wanted to find a place to really test the market out for some characters instead of committing to these long form books. And you never know, you put something out just because you've been successful in the past does not mean that people are going to want this new character. So when we released it first, we all were a little antsy because you never know with those types of things. I am a nerd for a lot of old detective stuff, crime noir things. And it was fun to write Salvage because people got to see that kind of side of me. It is a completely different story in comparison to something like ISOM, for example. They're two completely different characters.
Where ISOM is not a detective.
Style of genre that they fit in is completely different. So people kind of got to see through these private investigator stories that side of me. We put it out and we saw the reception. We even had some polls go out, really getting some audience feedback, and almost unanimously, people wanted more Salvage altogether. So I immediately got to work writing some ideas to really finish up on the initial story that was being told by myself and, of course, the legendary Bart Sears. And, of course, I reached back out to him, and he said he was in to do a more longer form graphic novel to really finish out this story that we started off in that first issue of the Rippaveals with Salvage. When you have a city like Flores Park and it has the police officers, even a Alpha Corps that is also attached to the police, how do private investigators?
Police.
What do you think of the idea of the Rippazine?
Oh, it's a cringe attempt version of like Marvel Spotlight. Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, they all popped up in Marvel Spotlight. It's kind of they're like, let's try it out, see if anyone likes these ideas. And so it's kind of like the scrap heap, more or less.
To me, that almost sounds like what he should have had going like before he launched the Rippaverse. If you asked me, but
most of this is not his. He's just, he's the Dokuman of everyone writing for him.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know.
He's the document man. I'm guarantee you that's where Dokuman came from. The name, it's just document man.
Yeah, probably.
Fit in that was something that we had to really try to figure out, and I wanted to make them special, not just any sort of private investigator. And this is how we came up with the whole LF certification as Salvage Lethal Force, which is what this upcoming graphic novel is going to be. That's what the LF stands for, and it's a special certification that only few people in Flores Park even have, Salvage being one of them. So it was our way to really kind of not just make it special to him, but also get the mind jogging as, okay, so you have this private investigator in Flores Park with this special certification. What about the others? So, Salvage is sort of investigating this crime or these repeated crimes that have been committed against a trucking company. And certainly being where I'm from, it was something.
Yeah, those trucks have some various 3D assets on board.
Wait. Just listen to what he's saying. I've not watched this, but like I'm getting an idea of where he's going with this.
Around in my head, I know a lot of truckers in real life, a lot of my family members, and it sort of influenced me to kind of write this story here.
Oh, I was figuring he was going to allude to like, oh yeah, we used to like rob trucks when I was a kid. Write what you know.
Can't wait for people to kind of find out what's really, really going on. If you read the first Rippaveals, you saw the way that thing ended, and you're like, who in the world is that guy that he's going to be faced up against? Well, of course, you will be learning about that in the Salvage Lethal Force. I didn't know initially, as I was creating the character, if I wanted to give him like a superpower, because I really wanted him to be like this character that people could easily relate to. And that's not to say that characters with powers folks can't relate to. They obviously can. But I wanted him to be a person that people could find really, really believable. So we attached this superpower, if you will.
In a 1920s pimp.
He has this abnormal hearing. You can imagine, certainly as a detective, when he goes around snooping around as an investigator, well, that can be a very, very useful thing. And that's why I explain the powers, and we read up on this next story. You're gonna really get it. I feel like we did it in a creative way. It's not just a guy with super hearing by any means, but you saw a little bit of that play out, and I'm really, 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 really excited for you guys to read the upcoming Salvage Lethal Force.
Stoney said, "Wait, they need a permit? I thought it was an ANCAP state."
It's a country, so it's different.
Well, no, but like state is.
No, I know. I'm just feeding that. It's smartass.
Never know with you.
Book by myself and the legendary Bart Sears.
I'm running out of time.
God, Negro. You ain't got enough hibbity in your step, boy.
You got to bring the jibbity out of you.
Oh, fuck. Damn it. Let me go back. Where was that? Like 14 minutes?
I don't know.
Him to be like this character. Salvage Lethal Force book by myself and the legendary Bart Sears.
I hate that shit. It's like everyone, legendary, the Titanic, blah blah blah. It's like just be like.
That's what I'm saying too. Just say their names. Like just say what they are. They're
me and Bart Sears.
Every time I stream with the wondrous scrum diddly douchous Black Angus reviews, we always knock it out of the park. Like a real champ. It's like, God, just talk normal about somebody a little.
Nightmare.
Every night I'm forced to watch my family die. Every night I'm treated to a symphony of horrors.
What is this voice? This
That's how
is
she
not-
sounds. I need to
nothing
have
like
the. I
Yaira.
need the broken. It took it like a chomp. That's how she sounds. That's her voice. That's
This is
the
my
first voice we heard of her.
struggle to adapt. I'll clip this and I'll voice it over properly for y'all. How's that sound?
No matter how hard I try, I fail. They call out to me to save them, but I'm helpless. Ever since I executed you, old friend, you've sent me ethereal messages. But the mighty black sorcerer cannot be so easily defeated.
Black
Was
sorcerer.
this some spell you cast before I delivered your death blow?
Death
Could you somehow survive?
Death blow.
And
Your death
patiently
blow.
wait till I'm at my weakest to strike. Until you have succeeded in driving me insane. Could there be truth to my visions?
Oh my god, that line work looks fucking awful.
I honestly prefer the broken voice over this.
The lines are just too fucking thick, and then the detail inside is shit. Oh my god, that's awful. This must be Joe Bennett, the way the shading is on his face. God, the guy cannot do faces consistently. It seemed like page to page, like Solari. It looks like 4 different Superman eras. Oh man, God, it's an eyesore. I'm not a stickler for art, but I notice when it's like just giant fucking lines for the inking, it's ugly, especially when it doesn't like it's not consistency with the inside and you like over exaggerate the outside lines. It doesn't look good.
Still alive somewhere, lurking in the darkness.
God damn, look at those nipples protruding. Yeah, they're really laying it on thick. It's really weird. Like, don't lewd my characters. Let me just, hyper focus on these giant ass nipples sticking out. I mean, cool. It's cool, but like, get all these mixed messages. This fucking company.
You never know.
Winter is here.
I preferred that.
Hi, I'm
that
Sylvia.
voice.
And I'm Jen. Hi. And we are the lore masters, editors, and writers at the Rippaverse. We are also horror directors and the Twisted Twins. Since we already spoiled it, we are writing Yaira 2. Yaira 2 is happening. Thank you for the success.
See,
of
at least
Yaira
they
1.
look
Thank
happy,
you.
Angus. They
Yeah,
got
no, I
energy.
like they have
energy and pep in their stuff. That's what's needed when you're talking about your stuff. Like, have a little joy in what you're doing. So
Well,
I
this is
appreciate
where
that.
the Hollywood
I
exposure
appreciate
comes
that.
in.
Well, yeah, even if it's fake, like
Yeah.
that's fine. Like that's sort of the point, though, is to do it on camera.
Well, that's how they started. They were started as like background, just like dumb ditzy chicks, especially being twins. It's like, oh boy, twins, So that's how they started.
But now add Melanie Mac here, and you can have triplets.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you very much. And what happens to Yaira and Yaira 2? Well, she got in a little bit of a mess in the first Yaira, and there are going to be repercussions. Yeah, since continuity is kind of a big deal in our universe, anything that Yaira messed up, she's going to have to clean up in number 2. And if you thought we were rough on Yaira and Yaira 1, wait.
Karen's
Yaira
asking
2,
if they said
you
the
on the ice
horror or horror directors. Exactly.
Both, actually. It's a catch-all.
Well, that's why there's 2 of them.
Yaira has all new villains. Yeah. She has some new allies. And let's just say we saw some requests online for what you guys wanted her wearing, and Deborah Carita was more than happy to oblige.
We must assess
Wait.
the
So
situation.
hold on. So just like I appreciate they I think were the more informative compared to the rest, but it's still like she has some new people and new enemies and stuff, and it just kind of was a roundabout way of saying nothing.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like, yeah, new clothes.
Good
or
energy, though.
She said there's some new outfit that people suggested, and they said yes. But it's like, are you gonna show it? No. I mean, okay. Like, I guess you don't need to show it here, but just like,
I think you do like a silhouette.
I don't know. Just it's something. Yeah, it's something to tease a little. Like, I don't know. Just thought there's gonna be a little more in there, but whatever.
Alerting the others is not required.
Oh no. Oh,
I would not suggest such a thing, as it would send this realm into chaos. I do suppose if they are here, our run will assist us in nailing down their exact whereabouts.
Can we just figure out what happened to Jasmine? You know, can we just like get that finished and then move on?
I guess I'll draw it in crayon for you, bitch ass nigga.
It was just I just remember him like arguing. It wasn't. I don't know if it was specifically an EVS thing, but I feel like it was like a subtextually EVS and Eric debate over the internet where they weren't talking to each other, but it was being discussed around. Where it was like, you know, do you prefer killing off all your characters right away and then whatever?
Oh, that was from the Flash
doing this
cast stream with Dick.
But it's just like, well, I don't know if it was that one specifically, but like. He was like, saying like, I want to take time to build up my characters and not like have anyone
and then you go
die or
Monkeys issue 2, like,
and well, it's just like, well, I'm just saying like, you and I have talked about it. How there's so many stories and post-apocalyptic stories. There's so much to do there, and it's nowhere near ending. Like Walking Dead was how many seasons? Like, and that's all post-apocalyptic. And it's like, but then the way he made it sound. The way I thought it was, he said more grounded. Like, it's street level. You're just gonna have like a guy trying to help his sister, and there's like some little extra things you got to fight. But like that is gonna be pretty like focused story that doesn't go too much into space, cosmic, mute. Like it's gonna be pretty simple and slowly build you up into the universe. But it seems like completely the opposite. Looking at it now, like. There's the Norfolk band from somewhere
that they're like Green Lanterns, and
there's like the Yaira, the Alpha Core, the Space Monkey Demons, the Blood Roots existence with their castle of creatures and dimensional things and blood magic. Just like, dude, like I don't know. It seems like the opposite of grounded, if you ask me, in every way, shape, or form.
Like, this feels just everything they're showing. The more it's growing, it's like DC Comics, where none of it actually like seems to match up and feel consistent.
Nothing.
Marvel's really good. Marvel's really good. However, isolated teams and stuff will be. They blend them pretty seamlessly. DC just doesn't make any sense. When you got Superman, then you got like Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern, just like doesn't really make sense. Like it's cool to see them team up and try to make a plot or a foe that they all have to work together, but it's not as believable as Avengers. Like, so this is the other reason why DC is faltering, because like their world doesn't make sense compared to Marvel, and Marvel actually addresses like in some way politically the issue of these superheroes in different ways, especially X-Men. Most of all, seems that the Avengers more or less kind of just get like a clean bill of health, but then there's some fuck up where they start like maybe we should regulate them, like but there's an awareness. DC is just like, oh yeah, they're just Batman's a criminal, but actually the Justice League, whatever, like you can put a tower in space, whatever, like DC sucks, besides Batman. DC sucks. Like the concepts are cool, but they're not characters, and that's what this shit is.
That's what it feels like. Cause it's just like every time it's like, oh, there's the Irish. She comes from space as well. There's Horseman's around and he likes to fight people, and there's really no motivation.
He likes to rip off other crooks.
It's just like, okay, but like there's no grounding of anything. Like I don't know if they know what grounded means, because it just seems to be the opposite of that. Like, see, I would think if anything they would have all the knowledge that they have of like the awareness of DC and Marvel and even other independent creators and what they've done, and be able to, okay, so we're gonna start with Islam and what he's doing. I thought the event like with Yaira and Alpha Core would be like the obvious, like, okay, that's like the next one you release, sure, but like have the events of that story like affect the next story. But like that's even if it's not going to be a Yaira or Isam one. Like if you're going to have little connective things and you're trying to slowly build or ground, like you can do that and take your time. I mean, that's what we all say about current movies right now. Take your freaking time, because like when they rush them out, it's
they got 9 things for Marvel.
Just like, God, Marvel, chill, Daddy, chill, like for Marvel, like chill. It's all good. Take your time. Star Wars stuff. I like how they're taking like 10 years to make another movie. That's pretty fun. They need to take their time.
Like, oh yeah, we're going to do a Daisy Ridley trilogy. It's like, when's it coming out? Yeah,
you can have it. You know what?
They just where's that Ryan Johnson trilogy? Remember that was a thing supposedly before they even released Last Jedi, And
Yeah. So I don't
it's
know.
happening. Yeah, it's
Well,
happening.
so like, so this is kind of what I mean too. So like, when you got to Isom 2, like, I think it, like, maybe that would have been more okay if there was like another story or two where something led to have the hell demons, go to the whatever guy and try to catch the one guy. So like, at least when you're reading them, there's connective threads and there's something in the back of your mind when you're reading them. But with all these different stories, it's just like, I don't know what, I don't care. It's all weird. Yeah, he wanted it to be simple to follow by starting with like, the way they starting, but I don't know about that. Like, it seems really, in a way, it seems more confusing.
Sorry, I accidentally sent Stoney's link to Stoney.
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yes, this is me. I'm like, oh, fuck.
He's like, thank you.
Damn it. Oh my god. Okay, let's see what the stupid Green Lantern shit is.
A reason to get involved in the affairs of Earth. If it is time, they will soon find out. Our lyrics are not make-believe.
Oh Lord. This is probably the least thing to look forward to, honestly.
So I introduced Norfolka in Isom #1, and since then,
I've had
like
lots
every
of regrets.
comment in any video.
Since then, I've had tons of regret. Hope to remedy that.
Someone should make that like an awkward clip and like keep like zooming in, zooming out, doing weird things with it. We're just like,
I created Norfolka. It's like a tear drops from his eye.
Hold on, let's go back.
In Isom #1, and since then, like every comment in any video that we do, it's when's Norfolka coming? When are they going to show up? And that's awesome because they were some of the first few characters.
Yeah, see, that's why you keep doing YouTube, you fucking retard. It's literally how you presented this whole universe. Like,
yeah,
you just said it.
Actually created before you guys had ever even heard about the Rippaverse, and they have a very specific purpose within the Rippaverse. Again, if you read the end of Isom #1, they're not just there at random. They're in this touring band, and you're left to think, why did this touring band have these gods or godlike beings?
Wait. They were there at random, though. As far as in that book, they didn't play any role in the book. So
yeah, somewhere near Florida,
we just cut away from where the story was taking place to over here. So I know that in his brain, like he knows what they're gonna do later. But as far as in that story, they are randomly there. And Isom #1, like, they are randomly there.
He probably watched Marvel movies and saw the the end credit scenes where, like, I think Guardians of the Galaxy, they introduce
the Collector.
No, okay, so it might have been. I'm trying to think of the one.
You're thinking of Thor.
They introduce the Bucky's arm in the press from Civil War. It's like a scene with Falcon and Rogers and Bucky, and you're like, what is why? Oh, Bucky's with Cap. Oh my god, what's happening? Like, I think he views that as like, oh, that's just a random. Oh, well, Mara did. That's just random. Like, he doesn't understand. Like, no, they have some context. We're revisiting established characters, and they're saying things that we don't have the full context for this scenario, but it's a hook of intrigue because we like them, want to know about where they're going.
So like the end of Thor, I think it was the end of Thor, like the extra credits there, I don't know, you show Loki having taken over Selvig or something, or like, gotten in the mind of Selvig, and
into Avengers.
But the events of that movie kind of led to that being the tease. And at the end of which one did they tease the twins for Ultron? Is that at the end of Avengers? No, that's Thor. I'm sorry, that's Thanos at the end of Avengers.
I have no idea.
But at the end of one of them, they're like, oh, the twins, and they like show Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch
flashing around.
But it was like I think the events of the film led to this sort of thing. It
It's
might have been
probably
at the end
Thor
of,
2.
No, it was the end of Winter Soldier, I think, because it was the end of Hydra or something. I think I could be wrong. I honestly don't remember. It's been a while since I watched some of these movies, so I'm getting the end credit sequences wrong. But like, point is, most of the end credit things seem to have a point, but I guess my point is, if they ended up showing something and it didn't end up going anywhere, then that was probably pretty dumb.
Apparently, they're doing a Scarlet Witch movie.
That should probably be horrible, but who knows?
Yeah, they really fucked it up with WandaVision.
But I guess back to him and Norfolka, like, you know, the people that he shows in there that he focuses on that aren't a part of the story, which is weird. You'd think they at least in some way are, like the battle with Isom in the place. You remember the people, the rich couple or something that's in it's at Fontano's place when right, aren't they?
Oh yeah, you introduced Michael Copper and Renashi and Club Merc.
So like,
but we had no idea who they were.
So my point is, like, this is where the connective tissue would make more sense that Eric is probably thinking he's doing, but he's not. Is to have those characters in the club, and then like Isom starts killing all the bodyguards there, and like he ends up like destroying something that they're working on, or like,
or that they just like,
or they're in the middle of a meeting, and like he ruins it, or like you said, yeah, they see them, and it's just simply a panel that shows them looking at Isom doing that, and then that's all you got right there. You saw him do like a little thing, and then you see that, and I don't know, you set up something when you do that, but when you just have them there and then they're separately and they don't interact in any way, shape, or form, it's like you're not really teasing anything or setting anything up. They're there, but you didn't do the rest of it. You did like a little piece of a setup, but you didn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
you placed them there, but you didn't do anything.
Well, I mean, what do you expect when the retards running a company?
But it's like, you'd think that other people that are doing this would be like, yeah, they're in the club, but what relevance is that, Eric? You know? But I don't know if that's...
Oh, well, this random comic that I happen to know about from old times just randomly has...
I wonder if
there. It's like, it's Marvel. We all know who the fuck it is, so it's not crazy to just see them passing by in the background because it's an interconnected universe that is well established. You are starting out, fucker. Like...
Yeah, so I'm like, I wonder if he'd respond to them. Do I have to draw in fucking crayon for you? If any of them would be like, yes, please.
Yeah,
tell me what your idea is.
Of like, oh, there's like 1,000 issues of this manga. They didn't do this till fucking 2 something. It's like, manga is just fucking chop shop trash. So like, the comparison is retarded.
Well, it's like, again, like if you used Goku as an example, it doesn't matter if he's revealed later to be an alien. The story as he's introduced was interesting enough as it was, and there was enough explanations for it, so it didn't matter anyway.
These fucking people.
Karian and Valadan, they have a very, very specific like purpose, right? And not just that, we've left nuggets along the way if you've read any really of the stories within the Rippaverse. And so we knew that we needed to come out swinging when we did eventually end up giving them either in a limited series or this sort of ongoing, because again, like I said, they do have a specific purpose. They just weren't random characters that we threw in. We have
he really doesn't understand it. He really doesn't get that. Like, they are random in the story.
Dude, I told you, his fucking theory of mind. He has the theory of mind of a child. Children, like if they know something, they're aware of something, they assume everyone around them just is on the same page. They have no idea that people see things different, think things different, don't know stuff they know. It's not a concept to a kid. That's Eric. Eric's a fucking child. He's a mental fucking midget. And so and you make jokes of like the black aspect, like that meme I sent you where it's like, oh, well, that nigga 5 minutes ago is a totally different nigga. Like,
yeah, right.
Nigga magic,
right.
That you can make jokes like that, but legitimately, he has the theory of mind of a fucking child, and it's really frustrating. But once you get that, well, it does put like for some frustration at ease. It's still there, but it's like, Yeah, he's a fucking retard. Just
He
just
said
go with
because he does. He's like, I set little nuggets around here, and they're
And
not
it's like
random
there's literally
characters.
one like somewhere near Florida, and I don't know of any other nugget. Like, that's not a
he's
nugget. That's just those are things in the world.
like I think he's trying to equate it to like in Marvel, like when there's like a random cameo that's like, hello, I'm here. Okay, goodbye. Like he's trying to say that no, they're not useless like that. They're gonna play a role in this larger story. It's like, okay, if
I
that's
assume
true,
that's
though,
why they tease characters that we are hoping will be in the story. Because like, oh, it didn't do nothing, but oh fuck, son of Hulk is
see
here.
again. So like with Norfolka, like being what he's talking about right here, like if it was like, okay, Islam really wanted to go see the Norfolka band, but his sister wants him to go check out Jasmine, and so he missed the concert.
Oh yeah, it's like,
that's not even a good
Norfolk
tie.
tickets, bitch.
That's
Like,
not even a great tie-in, but that at least sets something that
or
they
he
are
has
of
a
interest.
poster.
Like
He has a
that,
poster
that,
in his
that,
house.
that gives you like an insight onto the character of Islam a little bit, that he likes that band. He might not even have any clue who they are, or maybe he kind of does and is like, I'm just saying, like you can
he's
set
got a
up,
date.
you
He's
can
got a
do,
date.
yeah.
This chick's in Norfolk. He met her at the bookstore.
Yeah.
They hit it off. She's like, oh, I'm going to see Norfolk this weekend. And he's like, what's that?
Like
And
what
you're
we're describing is more of a nugget. Like what he's saying is, look, at the end of the book, I say over here, this is happening over there. It's like, that's not a nugget. That's just like, I don't even know what you call that. It's just, here's something else.
Easter egg. It's like, oh, this is that. Remember, that's going to pop up later somewhere. That's all it is.
Yeah, I guess it's a
That we're telling-
tease, I guess, is what you'd call it. Not a nugget. It's a tease, which are different.
that they absolutely need to fulfill, but the demand is there, so we got to kind of keep things going. It's no secret that I'm a metal guy. I'm in a metal band, been in several others before, backwards the one that I am in right now. So this is obviously something that's near and dear to me. One of the easier stories for me to tell, and
it's near, it's dear, and it's
mythology. I do. Hold on, so I do wonder. I wonder what you think about this. I wonder what Eric how he would answer if you were asked. Like, let's say that I can't. Cause my comic knowledge is so limited. I only have a few references to think of. Gwen Stacy dying in the comics. That's like one of the like must happen things. Or Uncle Ben, right?
Yeah,
like
classic.
him being dead. So like. What if the fans were like, how could you possibly kill Uncle Ben? And demanded that he come back. Like, do you think it'd be like, if that wasn't their idea, like, we did not plan to have him be back. This is the whole point of Spider-Man. Would it make more sense to listen to the fans to bring it back, or to not listen to the fans and not bring them back?
Well, and you're making art. The only thing about listening to fans is like, oh, well, it'll give me more money if I do thing. Generally speaking, that's where like fan feedback matters to companies. Like, that's the problem. And like when you make art to make money instead of making art because that's what you want to do, there's so many artists or novelists that when they made shit, they were broke, they died penniless, and then it becomes a hit retroactively. That's art, maybe they thought like, okay, I'll get a publishing deal or they'll pay me because I wrote this, whatever, but it's just like a job salary. Wasn't like rock star salary, that's the problem with like all this entertainment shit is, the intersection of art, and it's what Vito talks about, the intersection of like art and capitalism. It crushes art. Usually because like why do we have 10 Fast and Furious? Because fucking retarded people keep paying money for it.
Well, because it's like, I guess my point just goes down to like, characters and their deaths are more impactful. Like Uncle Ben being dead is like, he is such an important character because he's not around. But that's what makes him significant. If he was like, oh, he got shot, but he's in the hospital and then he's okay, like. That's a different story entirely, right?
Or
like he would not be as remembered.
Danny Ketch's sister, she gets hit when they go to the graves, the cemetery, fucking around or cutting through it or whatever, and then his sister gets hit by a bow by like the henchman, and then she goes to the hospital and ends up at some point dying. So that's like something to drive Ghost Rider, the new Ghost Rider with his new bike.
Well, it's like this is probably what EVS means when he says that, like, Jasmine or his sister or whoever should get killed. It's not because he's just saying, yeah, they need to just die, but it's like there's got to be, what is anyone's motivation here? Because it seems like it's just like, well, I don't want to be, I don't want to be yelled at, so I guess I'll go do this. And it's like kind of funny. It's like if Superman is like, but Mom, I'm going to the movies. No, you got to go save Metropolis. Ugh. Like, I don't even want to. It's just like, okay.
What a hero. My hero.
Especially if said person used to be a hero, which I guess that confuses me again. Like when you cut to ISOM 2 and it shows his origin, and then you see him being like reluctant to want to help somebody that, I just see, like, I think, what would have been more interesting, just small thing to change would be like, you gotta check up on Jasmine. Oh, I don't give a shit about that. And then it's like, well, yeah, but he's working for Darren Fontana at Club Merc. And then he goes, who? What? Oh, that asshole. Like, I know him. Yeah, he's probably really shady. Yeah, I should go check it out because he's a shady dude, because he got history.
They were friends.
Rather than
an old friend. That's the pitch. And it's like, literally in the book's like, I never really liked you. I was aware of you.
He does a whole page or two talking about how he remembers every detail about ISOM and hates him. I always loathed you. You suck.
You didn't amount to much.
You
had
could
all
have
these
been
gifts and
great,
did
but you
nothing.
didn't. You were good at track, but you sucked. Yes, in life. So what you do? You own a ranch? How cute. You deliver milk to me, essentially.
Makes no sense.
Touring band, I've been there and sort of done that. So as you guys start to hear at least that aspect of the story, so you're talking about the present day or current day Rippaverse, it's going to be a fun one. Because there's some lessons that I've learned along the way, some experience, things that I've seen with my own eyes that we're going to be able to entertain and really bring to you if you have not ever been in a metal band or a touring band or anything like that. But yeah, because we left those little nuggets in some of the previous stories that we've told within the Rippaverse and even some of the ones in the future, there's going to be a massive payoff. Now, I can't tell you guys what exactly that's going to be, but just know that Norfolk plays a very vital role within our universe. I first started working with Donaldson, who will be the artist for Norfolk Glorious Death, this limited series, with like Horseman and there's some other covers that he's done along the way. And guy is one heck of an artist. And as soon as I got to working with him, I was like, man, we got to get you on some sequential work. And he was hungry for that. That's what he wanted. And I can't wait for people to see him be able to tell some of these stories as well, because, they're taking place in different areas. Let's just say that. And because they're taking place in these different areas, you needed someone that could really is really detailed with the backgrounds, things of that nature. And he really, really, really does a very phenomenal job at that. So yeah, there's lots and lots of story to tell with Norfolk. And finally, we get to tell some of those stories in Norfolk Glorious Death by myself and Ronaldson. Can't wait for you guys to read it this upcoming year, 2025.
It's just funny to hear Norfolk and it's like, is this a joke? Oh, you're not kidding. That's
you're like, where's the punchline, Eric? You're still talking. Like, oh, okay.
Norfolk,
I thought it was funny.
Norfolk,
just the I know they do this sometimes in documentaries, but like it cut like a lot of times. Like, here's this angle, here's that angle. Now get him from the side. Now zoom out. Now zoom in a little. Now go over here. And it's like, is it like an attention thing? Like, the screen needs to change. Screen needs to change. People are like, okay, now I'm focused again.
I mean, if you're so worried about attention, you should have just cut all this to be different videos of like, hey, we're doing this comic. Boom. Like, that's your tease trailer, whatever.
Yeah.
Guys, I got news. I'm finally leaving Sylvia. No, it's happened. It's overdue. Honestly, we're going our own ways.
It's true. We had a lot of you guys ask, who wrote more in Yaira? Who wrote which part? And we're like, well, I guess the audience doesn't really know our writing style.
Well, obviously, the good parts of Yaira that you liked, I wrote. We'll see.
So they admit that there's some pretty
bad is about to happen.
Who wrote
People
the
swear
dialogue?
these things appear out of thin air.
God damn it, Ricky. I don't know what the fuck she was saying.
That you liked, I wrote. We'll see.
You can feel when something bad is about to happen. People swear these things appear out of thin air, but there are always signs, if you know where to look. I often see what others miss. Things most are never meant to see. So is the nature of my curse. I love pain. It makes me stronger. The worse the pain, the greater the suffering, the stronger I become. Whereas others live their lives avoiding pain and suffering at all costs.
That's actually kind of a cool concept, like a Hulk concept, but pain is your fuel. That's interesting.
I think I've heard of some characters that are like that, but that is a good type of concept. Interesting.
See, oh, bad faith detracting. I'm like giving you props on like, oh, that's a cool concept.
Especially because it almost inherently puts her in the bad guy category. Like it's hard to really be like, I'm a good guy.
Well,
now let me feel
we've
your
seen
pain.
We've seen it
It's
most
like,
in Star Wars, but they don't really just outright say it that way. But we understand it, especially like almost. That's why Kylo was a shock, because Sith are always scarred emotionally, if not outright.
You're not gonna. Well, you'll hate the idea after I tell you that in Agents of Shield,
never mind.
There's an inhuman girl, a child girl that like has this power to control people, and she pretty much likes to feel their pain, and she can just kill them on an instant. And it's like, she's like, give me your pain, if my mother's gone, I needed that. And it's like her mom got shot in front of her, and she's like, just like this horrifying child with her powers to control people and kill them with her will, and has to get put down. And so it's like, oh shit. So yeah, this kid that her only power is just like torturing people essentially. And it's like, oof, yeah, that is a.
And you're telling me they didn't employ her at Guantanamo Bay?
Well, it was already in a terrorist country, so she wasn't an American citizen. They were trying to get her, in fact, but but her power activated a little too soon. She's supposed to get her power like later, but a little too soon.
Now, if you don't know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like Star Trek on fucking Red Letter Media, where it's like it's like Star Trek episode in this, and Jay's just like,
I turn to it. I welcome strength, no matter what the cost. Every ending is also a beginning. From death comes a new life. Before Michael Copper, before Flores Park, I rose to power. A power that was my birthright. It is not my fault. Sometimes bad things happen around me, and I do not know why. But sometimes very bad things happen. I wish I could control it, but I can't. I just know when something bad is about to happen. And I've got that feeling again. Something bad is about to happen. Very bad. All I need to do is give it one little push. I am Lillian Ronashi. Welcome to my world.
Probably the most interesting trailer that they've shown for him, for a character.
Well, I have a special surprise for you fans. We're going solo. We are writing our own books. And my book will be starring none other than Lillian Ronashi, the ultimate Japanese femme fatale. Who is she and what does she want? Well, I know you're dying to know, and I'm dying to tell you. If you're a fan of Japanese horror, especially the great Junji Ito, you are absolutely going to love this book. It is a mature horror novel.
Oh my God, she referenced an obscure Asian. Oh my God, yeah.
Whoa.
People pretend like, oh, I love that thing. Wow, I've been waiting for someone to make a Japanese horror comic like this film that no one knows in America. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying that's the Rippatards will like, oh, I'm so excited. Oh, yeah.
As extreme and disturbing situations in it. It is a sci-fi body horror thriller. And Andrew's in the room. I don't know if I can say very much more, but what I can tell you is it's better than Phelps. So much. Like, don't even bother buying Syl's book. I don't even know if it fits into the continuity of the universe, to be honest. Lillian is going to grab you by the censored word and not let go in a good way. Just remember your safe word.
All right.
Be honest. We all have things in life that we want.
What's up, Keely
Things that
Chow?
we desire.
Chat.
Kiri Chow. I watched a Mongolian film today. I actually did, not joking. It's called Mongol, about Genghis. Gunnar Knox, YouTube algorithm really scraping ball of bears. Just, well, thanks.
Well, you clicked on the video. You, didn't have
You
to,
clicked
so
on it.
Whatever.
That's all, folks.
Just you're bored and wanted to watch something you didn't know you wanted to watch. All right, who knows?
What's up, Keely? How about them Cowboys, huh? No playoff appearance this year. Who would have thought? Super Bowl, am I right? Suck it. How's it going, man?
You only get one life. Why deny yourself pleasure? It could all be gone in an instant. Your life snuffed out. And where did all that self-sacrifice land you? We all die, but so few truly live. I can see what you want. I know how far you're willing to go to make it happen. I can make it happen for you. I can make your wildest dreams come true. Hell, I can even make you a star, if you're willing to do the work. Why not guarantee your success with a deal with me? I have a very exclusive club, you might say, and growing numbers every day. You'd be amazed by who is one part of us. You should join us. Why don't we make a deal? I have a contract right here. You'll be very glad that you did. This is going to change your life. And after I'm done with you, nothing will ever be the same again. Welcome to the Black Eye Club.
The Black Eye Club.
What a horrible name.
It's literally made for you.
Okay. Wow.
Hi,
That's a
guys.
thing.
So now that you heard about that girly stuff that Jen's up to, let's get to the good stuff.
Honestly, so Angus, at this
Michael,
point, it's like, what do you think it was a good idea for them to release all these trailers in one video at one time? Like,
no, they're hurting their own algorithm.
I feel like every time you show the next one, the last one is just like, whatever. Okay, like who cares? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna if you have them already made, like maybe reveal them once a week or something. I guess.
Or again, just have them cut up and it's like a series of videos through a couple days
or something. So I think that would at least leave more hype for each book. With the way they're doing it, it seems very
exhausting.
Well, here's the next one. Here's the next one. I already forgot a lot of the titles that he said. Honestly,
I think the
cursed
one
was like
pretty good.
Cursed seemed like
Blood Rescue's pretty good trailer.
What was the one with the space people? With the spaceman.
Oh,
no, the other spaceman.
Zalin.
There's Zalin. And then there's the Great War, which that should be their best book, I think. But, then you got Bloodruth 2, which is after the release of Bloodruth 1, which we haven't seen yet. Was it Yaira 2 as well?
I have no idea. It's really exhausting. Like when we got 15 minutes left, it's like,
oh my gosh. Now we're on Black Guy Club, you know.
Boy, for those literary fans in the Rippaverse, if you are a fan of Chuck Palahniuk or Bret Easton Ellis, you are gonna love Michael when him and his fancy suits get out into town and really let loose, in a Michael Copper way. There's babes. There's a lot of fighting.
My only
there might be
weakness.
even a little dirtiness from Hollywood. Not that I would have seen any of that and put it in the script. And buy a couple of Jens just for niceness, but buy like 2 of Michael's.
But don't buy any of those. Just buy Lillian. You don't need Michael. You don't need him, honestly.
We're kind of competitive. Don't buy her book. Buy my book.
But y'all read Alpha Core, right? Michael Copper is useless. Lillian Renache, she gets poo-poo done.
He was holding back. You read Michael Copper and you're like, whoa, this boy. Whoa. That's what I said. Whoa, right? I saw Jen reading and she was like, whoa. And I was like, she was crying. She's like, oh, she wrote better. I didn't know. That's exactly what she did. She was up for like an hour and I was like, Jen, it's okay.
See, okay, I was about to say earlier.
I think she's remembering when she was crying because Lillian was.
That's what you get with fucking girls in a male fucking space.
Earlier, it felt more genuine with like their little things, but this is like, oh, okay, yeah, you're. Yeah.
Ahora, chicas.
Oh no.
Vámonos. Arriba.
No.
Horseman!
Yeah! That's the voice of Horseman?
Got through to them. Or maybe they were just running from the crazy dude in the mask. Probably a couple million in fentanyl here. Anyway, it won't be going to Flores Park.
Why are you a horseman? In any way, shape, or form. You know what's actually interesting too? So he moved out of the town he was. Where was he at before Florspark?
Chicago.
Why does he want to go to Florspark specifically?
Because he's running. He's trying to protect.
Well, yeah,
his
but like,
family.
why Florspark? If you're in Chicago, why do you want to go to another country entirely? It's not like you're going to another state. In the United States,
doesn't make any sense. Just be excited for the horseman.
And I'm still like
one.
A good connection to horseman would be like, wow, there's this horse races that somebody was betting on. Who's that one?
They
the horseman's horse.
This pitch is literally just like, oh, there's going to be a horseman series. That's it. It's just horseman. It said nothing. Nope. Let's see if Chuck says something.
It's like, oh, they killed my sister.
I hate how they linger with no music on these fucking cars.
No, actually, I was kind of like, dude, press play.
Thanks to your enthusiastic reactions to the Horseman, we're already working on Horseman #1 in the script, and Joe started on the pages. Stuff looks fantastic.
Wait, you already did
have a lot of surprises in store.
No, that was just a one shot, but now they're doing a series.
Oh, okay.
Or you may think you know what the Horseman's about, but you really don't, and you're going to find out more and more about the Horseman and his world.
We really don't know what it's about.
I'm not fond of Parlay and his gang.
Oh boy, Saoirse.
But his information is useful.
Saoirse.
I assume that he'll become a problem eventually, but he's not the big threat. The recent moves have little to do with Parlay's gang. Mondomation is playing the long game. Parlay's territory has the largest school district in Flores Park. They're not looking for war. These scumbags want recruits. Young, naive boys.
I'm sorry, I guess. Sorry.
This is just like mumble. This is horribly captured.
I'm just like, okay, so like, yeah, one, the way that they're talking just sounds so uninterested too. Like, why is it always Florspark? So okay, again, I don't know if this is a thing. So like, but didn't most of the heroes kind of not really share the same city, or and that kind of explains why they're not typically running into other heroes, or maybe a few share the same city. Sometimes they cross, but it's like, it's pretty spread out.
Let me see really quick.
Like, I don't actually know, so I'm kind of asking. Because I've seen Justice League stuff, but I haven't really seen too many individual, like, DC things. I know in Marvel, they're definitely always spread out. Like, in different towns and cities and stuff.
Trying to see.
Like Punisher, Daredevil, Spider-Man kind of cross paths in Hell's Kitchen with Elektra, but they're not always together. They could be somewhere else, another part of the world, doing something.
Let me see. That's for the movies. I'm trying to look up Bruce Banner, where he started, like if he's always been like in New York, or where is he supposed to be at in the universe?
Well, I guess I mean when they're heroes, like, or when they have powers and stuff, like, because when they choose to go to a city, it's like, why are you going to that city? Because then they typically, if they're gonna do it to fight criminals or something, I assume it's because they care about the city and like people, or like beating bad guys. But it's like, why is it just Florspark? It makes it seem like the rest of the world there are no real other threats or something, or is it like the John Wick universe where like every other person has superpowers or something?
Yeah,
or
I don't know.
Something like, because it seems like it's just jam packed in one town. Like, it's not even like Florspark country; it's Texas country with this little state. This little.
It seems that Hulk is from like the West, and then like he bounced around in college and ended up in like UPenn, and then the test site happens in New Mexico. So there's at least some range of these characters that are kind of all over the country. Punisher, Spider-Man, Captain America, they're New York. I'm not sure about Stark, if he's supposed to always be in New York, if he's a California guy.
But he seems to go around the country, not just stick to one town.
Yeah.
Like, he goes around the world, if anything, tries to do stuff.
Yeah,
I guess that's just
Logan.
my point.
Logan's from Canada, and he does like stints in Japan.
Well, even
Psylocke's from Japan.
in the CW Arrowverse show, like they made it where Central City, Starling City, and they're around. They're all very close by each other, but they're like a city away from each other. So it's like, okay, you'd have to go to another city, which would take a little bit of time, but they're technically across the street. So it's like, you're a little far, but not too far. So it's like that at least made sense. You kind of knew where they would be and that they could cross paths, but it's not going to be so likely every day you're going to see them or anything. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. It's just weird that it's fixated on just Forspark, and yet we don't know much about Forspark either as a place. You'd think that by however many books we're at that take place in Forspark, that we'd learn a lot about like this town's history or what it stands for. Do they have a football team? Like even
they have wrestling federation.
Okay, that's kind of a dumb thing for me to go on. See, that'd be like a very minor detail. Like, oh, what football team? What does that matter? Okay,
well, I mean, that would make more sense.
But like,
to show football in Texas.
Like,
than
who's the mayor of Florspark? And is Darren Fontano, who's presented as the super club man? Is Florspark a tiny town, or is that like a big?
It's just Dallas.
Got like one little street, but does he just have like does he just have a little street in Dallas or Dallas? Like, does he? I don't know. It's just by a certain point, you would think that would be something that's sort of mentioned. Like you said, this chick Saoirse, is she at one of his clubs? Is she? You don't have to have a huge.
She's supposed to be a PI as well.
All right.
I don't know, man.
But I don't know. You know what I mean, though. Like. There's just like nothing. There's no information really that sticks in our head. Like who's anything of Florspark? Is Norfolk a common band that goes to Florspark to do gigs? And it's like,
are they just in Florspark? I mean, we saw them somewhere near Florida.
But... Well, I know, but I was saying it actually makes more sense if they traveled around and would sometimes go by Florspark, and that's why there might be connections to Forspark, because they're aliens. Why would they care?
I'm not under any delusions. I can't bring down an entire gang by myself. But a little push here and a little shove there, perhaps I can at least make something shake. Turmoil can be good business, but the little ones deserve a shot. They prey on them to secure a future. Yesterday's youth are tomorrow's adults. I've got to find a way to
Yesterday's babies are tomorrow's. So what was the other book?
Black Guy Club.
No, that was in Ripazine.
That was this one, and then Salvage PI.
Okay, sorry, I was like, I don't remember the name. That one. So Salvage PI and Saoirse are like the two detective private investigator ideas.
What if we had two private investigators in the same town? I don't know, man.
I mean, so I guess that's kind of where I'm getting. It's like, so it's fine that they're both around, but it's like, why are they all in Florspark?
I mean, they complain about all these Spider-Man variants, but then it's like you have two PIs in the same town.
Well, and then you have Isom masquerading as one, even though he says, I'm no detective or hero. Like, yeah, but like if a fireman puts out a fire and says, I ain't no fireman, I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, if anything, it's like, why is Florspark the draw, like the center?
That's kind of what I'm getting.
New York City makes sense, or LA or Chicago.
That's what I'm kind of getting at. Is there like an international interest? Is there a monument here? Is there a team that, like a sports team, that is a draw? Who gives a shit about this town? What
is
about
it Vegas, where it's a fucking just like a pleasure town?
Is it that Darren Fontano made the like funnest cribs that people will go from the United States all the way to Texas to, go check out one of his clubs or something?
Yeah. See, this is the kind of frustration me and Ricky have, that we're trying to throw a bone, but it's like,
they have a mean
not
hamburger
thought of
shop,
anything, actually.
Like, and it's just like, no, they just all like to be around here. the Horseman moved from Chicago, which was in the United States of America, and then moved out of the country of America.
It's
to,
like if you try to argue, like, well, they didn't color this in crayon for you in Marvel when they introduced the Fantastic
Like-
Four or blah 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 or Spider-Man. It's like it's New York City. It's like an international hub. It's well known. It's a major city in the world. Also, the Trade Center was there. Is there? I guess I think there's still a Trade Center in New York.
well, I'm sorry,
is there.
Even Metropolis though seemed to have like some type of standing in the world, and it's kind of shown that through its like at least its news reporting is very good or something. I don't know. And they have that huge like Metropolis building. I guess that was with the Daily Planet, right?
It's the news
huge. I don't know. I actually don't know much about Superman to really comment on that, but
yeah, it's like Metropolis is like
has its,
across the bay from Gotham, which is New York. So
and Gotham is like slummy and dark, and there's something about Gotham that is recognizable. I guess that you'd be able to point out you're in Gotham compared to like just somewhere else. But it's like Forspark. You'd think also being his original ideas that there'd be like iconic imagery in the,
but it's not. It's just Dallas.
It's
he
just like
put the Dallas
like,
ball in the comic, so he's just showing like this is just Dallas.
Like even if there was like fancier houses or like different like weird designs because there's like aliens that live here and people powers that can make things, or that would be what I would think is that it has so many powered people that work for the government that like they were able to build they're like a higher advanced society compared to like the rest of Texas. Like just Forspark is like their peak of advancement or something. I would think like technology. They have the flying turtle fortress, right? So like
yeah,
I don't know. Like I'm trying to think like what would be the draw. We got to see the flying turtle fortress over in the city. I don't know. I'm trying to think like what would it be?
It's really frustrating to say the least for us to like, oh, what death could you give us? And it's like, God, you just
like
not put any thought.
I wouldn't care if there was only like three books that had different heroes in it or something, that whatever. But most of the characters and however many books he has now are mostly in Forspark. And it's like, and then you have Horseman go to Forspark, and it's like, why? Yeah, if Horseman was like, yeah, my sister Jasmine or my wife, or whatever, got a job over there, my daughter or something, got a job up and over there, and I haven't heard from her working after she started working for this Club Merc, like that'd be a better reason for him to get out of whatever town he's in.
Yeah.
So Ripazine number 2 unexpectedly did better than Ripazine number 1. I think a lot of that had to do, of course, with the team that was on that story. It wasn't just myself, because there were a lot of people that wanted sequential art coming from our art director, Kanan White. It was just highly, highly anticipated once people got a glimpse at that character. So Ripazine issue number 2 just absolutely took off. So while I'm trying to plan for Salvage's book, I had this other problem, which is a good problem to have, and that I had another character that a lot of people wanted. So I had to get started kind of kicking some ideas around. Now I had most of the story already written as far as the layout, but now we're starting to do something in a different format.
Does he think that people will like lose
Salvage.
interest if like he takes a little bit longer to like eventually make a book about
No,
them?
Rookie, what he's doing is he's losing money. He's not making what he thought he would. So he's trying to assembly line this and reduce the pages so it's cheaper, but he's putting more out. So he's like recouping the same payout if he's just pumping shit out every month.
Because I mean, honestly, like so far, like these are books he's all trying to release in 2025. Like, dude, I tell you, I can't afford that. Like, that's
it's funny because one of the big things in like Comicsgate rhetoric is that this like month to month issue stuff of like 24 pages or whatever, 22. This like standard practice of comics. It's just like, this has been my thing, is some of the best stories in comics are limited series. They're like maybe a full year, like maybe 12 issues, if not like 9, 6, 4, 3, maybe those shorter issues, there's less number are more pages, but it's still like contained. those are some of the most iconic stories. You know, Dark Knight Returns is just like, I think, a 4 or 12 issue series. It's not long. It's kind of the most iconic Batman. Batman Year One is a limited series. Watchmen is a limited series. So, yeah, more times than not, it seems that the most iconic stories all time are short form. They're not these like sequential month to month, never ending fucking number lines. And that's kind of one of the problems, is that it's just a chop shop. Like the comic book store is just the middleman for this like drug system of next hit. Got to get issue number 3,
it's like
number 4,
how many,
number 5, and
it's like how many of these characters
you
do
don't
these
get
things-
quality incentives when you have this like need to keep shit on the shelf every fucking month. You know, you get hey, just like put something out. So
like, you know, I think of like, it's got to be a way, it's got to be a long enough time for us to want it. You know what I mean? Like, if you just always have it available, you'll lose it. You'll probably end up using it less or something. You might use it a bit at the beginning, but then it's like, I could use it whenever I want. So why would I care to look at it now? Like,
yeah, like Polito
rather than if it's okay, it's on the shelf right now, but then, oh shit, it's not on the shelf for months.
Yeah, Polito with Lady Death, I think, has a perfect system. He does like quarterly releases. Every 3 months, he's got a new book. Gives you enough time to like, all right, yeah, this like more. You could get the standard a little while later in the comic store, but you want like this cool version, these variant hardcover versions. It's the Kickstarter every quarter. It's going to be $30 to $50 or more if you want extra ship. But you get time to accumulate. There's anticipation. There's time to like wait in between so you can gather the funds for, you know, a luxury spending with, you know, comics. Yeah, like Eric is just recreating the problem of mainstream comics, and he's like putting out 12 random things that maybe are in the same world but like don't seem to connect, and they're all independent lines. That's the other problem, is like, you know, even if like Batman or Wonder Woman, whatever, is like a chop shop, you know, month to month, it's still like, oh, issue 5 of Batman, you know, it's continuing the story you want, not just, oh, I gotta wait however long for that. He's still doing the Comicscape problem of, you know, indiscriminate amount of time waiting for next issue, which is fine because the idea is like, well, we're putting more quality and effort into.
Yeah, but this time it seems like it's not that you're putting more quality or effort into it. It's that we're working on other projects too. So it's just gonna, that one's on the back burner until we get to that one.
Yeah, it's not going to pan out long term how he thinks.
It's like, so say what you want about like EVS and his books, but people like will extremely know him for Cyber Frog and Rainbow the Brute and whatnot. At least those two for sure. But it's like, you know, how many of these will end up being remembered?
What's ironic, very.
This guy on the that we're looking at here looks like he's from Planet of the Apes. It's like the OG Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, kind of like the old chimps.
A little bit, like on the chimps.
Salvage will be just more or less this a traditional sort of graphic novel. This is going to be an ongoing series with Saoirse #1. Now, as you've probably heard me already talk about, I nerd out about the detective stuff, but all detectives aren't equal.
Now, when is he
They
nerding
have
out?
different things that motivate them. They approach things in a different style, and I really wanted to capture that esque of sort of that film fatale and being a private investigator, not necessarily just a spy of some sort, but a legitimate private investigator that's taking on some really, really crazy cases. And she's different from Salvage. So they're both private investigators. They have that LF certification, but they're not the same. And it's not just as simple as her utilizing her beauty to kind of navigate this world of Florist Park, really, in being an LF certified
I doing impossible
person. It's not just
I die when he's like, you know, this world of floor sparkling. Like, oh, jeez, fuck.
Yep. Again. Yep.
Which he takes on certain types of things. And if you've read the book, you know with Rippaveals issue #2, he doesn't just take on any sort of gig. There's special types of gigs that he has to deal with. You know, Saoirse, she's left with these very, very dangerous gigs, and she's getting involved in the story with Mondo Mation, and really can't wait for people to see how that's going to play out. Kanan's artwork on this is amazing. My good friend, and of course our concept artist, and Marcos, he helped design the character. Kanan had just a little bit of input there as well. And that's his gal. So when I approached him with, hey, this thing blew up, we got to do something longer form, like before I could even finish my sentence, he was ready to get some more work done. So really stoked to be working with him. I think we kind of have this dynamic duo, this tandem working together on projects like this. And in Saoirse, I think for years to come, this is going to be a character that a lot of people love, a lot of people gravitate towards, and yeah, they just going to
like
thoroughly enjoy it. It is a fun story, but it is a story that's
I don't know if he'll mention
sort of make you think. She's navigating Flores Park. Yes, an affluent city, but there's different sides.
He said the affluent cities. Like what? Like what? What city is next to Forest Park?
The affluent city, as opposed to the unaffluent. Like,
it's like, how many cities are in the Rippaverse? Just one. just the Forest Park. The rest is other places somewhere else.
We've gotten like one hint of anything outside of Texas, besides somewhere near Florida. We got in Gooding, like somewhere in Colorado or something. Like,
but it's like, but these are in a different country than Texas. So, like, I don't know. Shouldn't there be a difference, like, in something? But
you got the Upper East that we've talked about, Upper West. Flores Park is a big city state. So there's a lot of things that we get to entertain in that sort of underground in the underworld in which she's operating. It's such a fun thing to do, fun story to tell. And of course, Caden just has a way of really adapting the story and capturing the essence of who I wanted Saoirse to be. And I just can't wait for you guys to read this ongoing series, starting, of course, with Saoirse #1, which will be dropping in 2025.
I mean, in a way, he kind of seems more passionate about Saoirse than about Isom. You know?
Oh,
like,
I think this is ISO. It's like Darren.
So, but hold on. But before that, it's like he's also trying to do. Is he trying to do an animated thing now too? Like he's trying to make an animated horseman.
I don't know.
So I guess my point is like he's doing Rippa-sen, Rippa-zine. Also, it's like, dude, like and trying to release 12 of these all in the same year. And it's like, all right, man. Like I think like have a few year plan here and like release it over time, man. It's all good. It's all good. You know, you can have Yellow Flash's little comic. You got Jay's comic as well. Those aren't even counting as the 12, right? Like none of the Rippa-zine ones or the Rippa-send, whatever. So it's like, do you expect your fans to really be able to support all of those? Support him trying to make the animated things, which are very expensive. Support the Rippa-zine, support the Rippa-send.
Well, an
support
affluent
each
company
comic book.
like the Rippaverse,
like,
should be no problem.
Like, I just think there's just going to be less and less return on each thing.
He thinks, oh, if I put out 12 books, it'll be $12 million. Like that's his thinking.
I'm thinking it'll be $12,000 at some point. Like, because you can't split it up that much. Like, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, like you go to the comic store, $35 will get you at least 7 books.
Yeah,
per month, per like week, however much you're going.
Well, is he making 24-page books?
No, it's still gonna be longer, but not as long as like Isom or Horseman.
How much do you think each are gonna be? Each are gonna cost?
Oh, $20.
Think it'll go down to 20?
Yeah, I think I got Gooding for like $18 in shipping.
Okay. We'll see.
The word empire is used very loosely. People just associate it with wealth and power.
Man, this voice
What
sucks.
exactly
Gotta
is
have some
does an
voice
empire
over here.
become an empire?
An empire is an enterprise.
They need to do it right.
Empire is a state of existence. That's because it isn't about mere wealth and power. It's about control and respect. It never stops being built. But you know when it begins to crumble. My history with them gives us a
Here's
bit
to
of
crumble. I
advantage.
like to eat toast.
Trust me. I'm sending a memo with all the details of this man. And what I expect from you all. You'll immediately realize certain things ain't off limits.
So blasé. It's like certain things are not off limits.
Just like, okay, thank you, Darren. Okay. I
this
guess.
this Darren is like, wait, what'd you say? Huh?
I love the goofier, you know. We have a history together.
We have a history.
I have an empire.
I sent you the details.
You get your ass out of my club or you get a job. You can clean the tables.
This nigga need a job and he's not doing that job.
Don't worry about Jasmine. She's fine. She's fine. Look at her. She's fine.
Rippaverse presents black on black violence.
Wait a second. Are you telling me there ain't gonna be no monkey demons in this one?
They're on the cover. What are you talking about?
Oh, hold on. I'm not looking at the cover. Are they gonna team up with Darren Fontaine?
I was waiting for you to be like, oh, that's just black people. I'm like, what's the difference?
No, but they'll say, but Darren will say, we're not so different, you and I, to the Monkey King.
Oh, Sebastian Chang is coloring.
Sebastian Chang.
Oh boy, I love how it was like ISOM 2, and this was just ISOM, and number 3's over there. Yeah, like
yeah, they don't have enough animation money for the trailer. Probably.
This is gonna be tough.
Hibbity jibbity about time. And
it only took them 3 years to make the sequel.
I mean, this is our flagship hero. It's a personal character. You know who he's named after. Again, it being the first character that really had this responsibility for putting over these other characters as well that you guys have come to love. There's been a massive demand for ISOM, and ISOM number 3 is really, really special. If you read ISOM 1 and 2, there's a lot going on, a lot that's hanging above Avery's head. He has this Darren Fontaine situation to worry about. He helped rescue Sam, who has his own things going on.
Sam I am.
And it's just so many different avenues and paths. And now we get to bring everything together in this final issue of this arc, the first ever arc for ISOM, with this ill-advised arc, with ISOM number 3, and I just cannot wait for people to read it. You know, Darren Fontaine is an interesting case, right? He's not just some crime lord.
Again, just like pause real quick. So like, you know, like again, I'm just thinking like, so after ISOM went to the club twice to try to mess with Darren, like Darren should have gotten on the phone call. Hello, Mr. Monkey Demon King. I need you to send a message to ISOM Knox or Avery Knox, whatever, and you know, have him pay a visit to his house and then take his boy Sam I am, you know. So there's at least a connective thread of like, okay, the action to go try to take Jasmine, you know, you wanting respect and whatever, it caused disrespect to Darren, and Darren sends monkey people after you and after your boy, and then you go meet blood. You know, there's at least a little bit of cause and effect at that point, a little bit.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say anymore. I can't wait. We're just
wrapping it.
ISOM 3, you finally came.
This big city, you know, he has a connection to Avery in terms of his past, so that gives him an advantage like no other. And because he's having to deal with the dynamic of maintaining that status that he has, and ISOM sort of threatened it, he's got to deal with that, and he recognizes that he absolutely has to address that. However, there's a lot that both don't know about the other, which is going to make for some really interesting
It's like
stories.
Darren beat the shit out of. He's like, you tried to come up to my club twice and you got your ass spanked multiple times. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, he showed, yeah, you try to be a powered person coming up in my club, you get your ass kicked. You got that Brian Solari, you still can't get in my club. Nope.
Oh.
Maybe you could work the tables. Be the new
They got a lot of history. They know it's like, yeah, I was aware of you. I did not like you.
You could have, but you had potential, but you squandered potential. I, however, did not squander my potential. You know, some legally, some not so legally.
Not so much.
Why are we even talking about it? Why are we even talking about this? We're in the middle of the fight. God, ISOM 3 is gonna be so fun to
Fucking great.
see. Detractors though we may be, we're looking forward to ISOM 3.
Just like how he's pitching is like, oh man, Darren, you're so interested. It's like, not really.
Remember when he punched Avery's sister?
And the thing that started it all, the Dick Masterson review. the Buster Baxter, the bunny money. It's all we're finally
post-traumatic stress.
It's finally coming together. Somehow we're gonna connect Jasmine and the Hell Monkeys and how
Turns out she was she was sent by Darren to sleep with the Hell Monkeys to get a deal with them to introduce a club into hell. A new club, a new nightclub. And that's why she was in dangerous shit. And then they tried to recruit Sam I Am as
the human.
Sam I Am was going to be their first human stripper.
Oh boy. Oh man, it hurts. It's starting to hurt. So
we're going to be telling this massive book in ISOM number 3. Cliff Richards being the first artist that people got to see as far as his interior work. You know, he's taking it up to another level.
He did so well printing out those pages of clip art.
Indubitably.
Well, and that was something that he really wanted to do. And we had the help of our art director and Kanan White that kind of came along after the fact and really wanted to elevate. That was his goal, to really elevate every artist that we have here. And some of you guys got to see some of his newer work in that remaster, which is in Rippaverse Trinity, volume number 1. And you can see how he's cleaned some things up. He's enhanced some different things, and he's taken all of what he's learned along the way, obviously, and now he really, really does understand this character in ISOM with ISOM number 3. So to me, and yeah, you may can say this is easy for me to say, but I actually believe this is some of Cliff's best work ever. It is
you
so
sell
good,
that hat again, Eric?
good. And of course, we have our new colorist and Sebastian Chang.
I would love for him to show like an example of something that he elevated. Like look at the previous version and now look at the elevated version that he did.
We've already seen it with the Ira, like the I think ISOM 2 or Off-Core had like the ad, some of the pages, and then it's different, and then Eric tried to be like, oh, he must have got something from like Instagram or something.
No, I know, but I'm saying I wish that Eric in this video of Rippaveal to show, hey, look at this picture here, and then obviously my approval, he edited and elevated this one. See when he's sleeping on the couch all silly, we made sure that he drew it this time. So made sure it was drawn in this time.
As a tandem, really make for some fun storytelling here with ISOM number 3. And because we have a lot of the story to wrap up to close out this particular arc, it's a big book, guys. I mean, ISOM 2 was bigger than ISOM 1. ISOM 3 is bigger than ISOM number 2. There's just so much of the story that we really needed to tell.
Eyesore number 3.
That's the awesome thing about the format that we had released with this, and that we could tell whatever story we wanted, and we weren't being rushed. None of the creators were being rushed. And while I do know, and I'm very aware of that demand where so many people are like, look, man, where is the next ISOM? I'm waiting for it. Trust me, it's going to be well worth the wait. You're going to get a great story.
Well, so wait, if you understand, so like this is actually interesting because it's like, it's okay. You don't need to rush it every month. Isn't the incentive to not do it monthly?
Well, we know why it's delayed. It's because he got sued for trademark infringement.
I'm just saying, he says, people are going, oh, where's this thing? Where's that thing? That's good. And then it's like, it's worth the wait. So get them used to waiting at least 3 or 4 months for a book. And then there you go. You'll get it.
I feel like this is some of my best work and also Cliff's best work as well. And it is a satisfying conclusion to this first arc, but it's also, I think, going to leave you with some questions as well. And you're going to be stoked about ISOM going into the future, or at minimum, you're going to be curious about it. So ISOM 3 coming out finally in 2025. Myself, Cliff Richards, Sebastian Chang. Man, I know you guys are going to love the story just as much as I love creating them for you all, and that support that you guys gave it and have given Ice this brand new, fresh character. He's only 2 years in, and you supported him the way that you have. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to all of us in the Rippaverse, and that's why we wanted to write the absolute best story that we could with Ice number 3.
Wilkins.
Oh god, Alpha Core 2.
Any of us refused to do. Courage.
There's no sense to when we get to a new thing versus commentary. Okay, Alpha Core 2. Let's see what they're doing.
Our sacrifice will not go unavenged. I wish we had more time to mourn. But this city-state is on our ass. With the Eagle's Nest crashing, our enemies predictably pounced on the opportunity. Now, even the civilians of the city-state are questioning our existence. We're in trouble.
Oh, in trouble of what?
Alpha Cope. We made it.
Oh boy.
We made it, rookie.
And if all of that is not enough for you, Alpha Core 2 is on its way. I've begun writing it. It's the continuing adventures of Brian, Ingrid, and Braxwell. It deals with the consequences of all the actions, all the stuff that happened in Alpha Core 1. And the destruction of the city.
What?
A lot of people
Continuing the story.
So they get sued for blowing up the innocent rich people's plane needlessly and abusing their powers.
Yeah, that's like the way they play it
citizens.
off is just like whatever. Oh, no, Chief's gonna be mad. You're like, dude, that's a huge. If you're maintaining any semblance of American justice system and concepts, like that's a huge. That's like Fourth Amendment shit.
Not exactly a patriot, I guess.
You know,
right?
like you have no Cosby there, you have no legal grounds, and then you destroy their property when they're not even they're not even in the situation of like resisting with a rightful arrest in progress or anything like that. It's just, oh, you're mad, so you whipped her fucking plane wing off or something to like spite them. It's like, that's huge civil suit. I think even in libertarian utopia state of Texas country, I think that would be like a huge lawsuit or some sort of like indebtedness by the state.
No. See, the state wouldn't interfere with that, but when Q-tips are $20, then they'll interfere. If you don't pay $20 for Q-tips, you're gonna go.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Like either they're copying Better Call Saul and it's a plot of gypping old people in nursing home, or it's like the economy of Texas is so fucked with their freedom. And either way, it's like not addressed.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun to just scratch your head like, who the fuck thought this was a good idea?
I'm sorry. Honestly, it's even worse now because I'm remembering I saw one. Shocker right now. But like in the very beginning, they're like, the city of Forest Park is doing pretty well. I mean, the cops do pretty good, but there's sometimes reason to have superheroes to fight some bad things.
Occasional accept issue.
Like, but then it's like, but every character is in Forest Park that is like involved in something. And it's like, there seems to be constantly stuff in
the fact that you institute and accept police force
on the police,
already implies there's a need to react on a frequent basis, on a regular basis. So
if drugs were a minor thing, there wouldn't be a drug unit,
Yeah,
in the cops, but
narcotics, yeah. That's when you get retards. $10 million. This is what you get. I can't wait for the travesty.
I can't wait.
Maybe there'll be glimmers of hope, but obviously there's no reason to have any hope because they're just sniffing their own farts this whole time.
It's not a tragedy; it's a comedy. They just don't know it. That's what's funny.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's hilarious.
It's a good time because they think they're doing good, and it's like you're either lying.
No, it's worse than that because they think they're doing like legendary, like world-breaking things. It's like, no, I mean, you guys are trying. I don't know, I kind of appreciate more humbleness to it. Just like, yeah, we're trying our best, trying to figure out how to navigate this and make our footprint.
Yeah,
in
if
the
there's
indie
any,
sphere.
if there's this
And,
like not fake corporate presentation, it was like, hey, you know, we missed some details we didn't think of. You point them out. We've seen the critics, despite whatever, like, you know, we swallowed
Yeah.
our pride, and you had some good points, and we're trying to fix it. Like this whole recoloring shit, that's already a cope. You know, like it's one thing when Disney doesn't want to cave because a lot of criticism is kind of politically divided, where it's like pretty much you critique Last Jedi negatively, you're probably a Trumper or in the conservative space, whatever. There is an obvious kind of party line with the criticism or praise with that film. And so when you get episode 9, they did a lot to apologize to fans narratively without just saying sorry. And it's like, well, it's a big international corporate thing that kind of mandated their agenda stuff by stockholders or whatever. They're not just going to say sorry, but there's some good actions, good effort from what Disney's done, mostly with Star Wars since, especially with episode 9 is like the first step. But when you're just an indie comic and you're supposed to be like, oh, we talk directly to the fans, we don't need this third party comic system, blah, blah, blah. But then you do this corporate move on top of this. Like that's how you built your audience to sell to.
Well,
but
they also don't seem to be as transparent as they wanted to be as well.
It's just weird mixed messaging for no reason. And it reeks of corporate F slurry.
Well, the way they address Eric, like all the time, like, you know, this master genius, ultimate awesome guy, and the way that he refers to all them, these legendaries, these, you know, Titanic monument. It's like, I don't know, just like putting extras on that are just like, yeah, you know, these are talented folks. They're neat. That'd be fine. And it's like, you'd think that they'd even say like, yeah, I hope that you can appreciate our original characters we're creating. And even though we've got a history creating other characters that are very well known, we hope that you can differentiate them from ours, but still catch you in the same way. Be kind of cool.
It's funny, because I watched something recently. I can't remember what it was, but they're talking about how like they got this props, like I think from like Friday 13th, one of those prop guys, effects guys for like wounds and masks and shit. And it's like, it's crazy this guy did. Like we had like no money. This guy just like volunteered. Oh, I think it was Tarantino, and the guy with him on Rogan was talking about some film they did and how this guy, I think from like American Werewolf or something, and Friday 13th, like he just like volunteered and came, and he like made shit like Vaseline. It was so convincing. They were just shocked by it, and how he's a wizard with the craft of prosthetics and effects. I don't know. You just made me think of that. It's just, yeah. But that's all I got. I got to get to bed. Got to work in the morning, a few hours. So appreciate y'all hanging out, coming in early. I'll be back next week. Try and be consistent again. Still do night shift half the year, so there will be some days where I just can't make the Thursday night time slot, but we'll adjust as we can. Appreciate it. Glad Katie came on hang out for a while, and see you next week. Anything to plug, Ricky?
Pretty soon I'll be releasing some reviews of The Ace, The Fall of Man, and War Party #1, and then Pirate Queen, and then gonna try to do Isum and Cyberfrog in like February.
Well, good stuff. That was thank you, Eric, for a fucking exhaustive train wreck of Rippaveal. I hope it's the first of many to laugh at. It's a good time. Thank you.
He needs to try doing, 4 comics a month.
we should lead like make fake accounts like, where we need more Eric, more. We need more. Fucking 12 books a month.
There's kids in Africa that you could probably hire that can do some work.
They just team up with Elon and import some some Indians to write some comics for you.
Hey, as long as you get them out, ship them.
All right. Talk to you later. I almost hit the leave